and Simon will not be presented tonight in order that we may bring you CBS Sports coverage of Game 2 of the NBA Playoff Championship between the Celtics and the Lakers.
In Boston, it will forever be known as the Memorial Day Massacre. The Celtics beating the Los Angeles Lakers by 34 points. The Boston assault came from all corners of the parquet floor. And in the end, the Lakers gave up more points in a championship game than any team in NBA history. The Lakers had cruised through the Western Conference playoffs, losing only 2 games in their march to the finals. After beating Denver, they had openly rejoiced at the thought of having another shot at the Celtics. But the faces told a different story in Game 1. Dejection, disgust, defeat. Because on the floor, the Celtics were poetry in motion, keeping the Lakers off balance at every turn. The question tonight is, how will the Los Angeles Lakers respond to that defeat? The boats are off the Charles River tonight, but the trains are still arriving at the old North Station. It's game time, number 2 of the NBA championship. When it was built in 1928, it was known as the Boston Madison Square Garden. Now it is simply referred to as the Garden here in Boston, the oldest arena in the NBA. Back in 1935, Notre Dame tried to play a football game in this stadium, but it proved to be too small. It was just the right size for Joe Louis in 1940, and it was a good size for Dwight D. Eisenhower, who was the president in 1952. But the favorite politician in these parts is the favorite son who filled the Garden, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. The most memorable sports moment here could be Bobby Orr's goal in the Stanley Cup, which beat the St. Louis Blues in 1960. And the man now who keeps the Boston Garden rocking is a basketball player by the name of Larry Bird. So welcome, everybody, to Game 2 of the NBA World Championship Series. It's the Los Angeles Lakers and the Boston Celtics. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I'm Brent Musburger. When you think back to what occurred on Monday, it is still hard to believe that the Celtics beat the Lakers by 34 points. But I think the thing to keep in mind is that frequently in a 7-game series, it is the second game and not the first which dictates the tempo and the mood for the remainder of the series. Go back to a year ago. The Lakers came in here and they won the first game, and they were well on their way to a victory in the second game until, with time running out in regulation, the Lakers had the ball out of bounds. They got it to James Worthy. Worthy attempted a cross-court pass. Gerald Henderson intercepted the pass and rolled in for the layup that tied the score. The Celtics then went on to win that game in overtime, and they came back to capture a tough 7-game series. Now, the man who called that action last year and is here tonight down on the floor with his partner, Tommy Heinsohn, Dick Stockton. Dick.
Thank you very much, Brent. A recurring theme the last couple of days for the Lakers has been these fans at Boston Garden and the positive effects they have on the Celtics. Well, the Lakers know after that blowout that they have to come out and come out strong early and perhaps take the crowd out of this game. The 2 men who must lead the Lakers above all, the 2 generals, Earvin Magic Johnson in his exuberance, court-to-court, fast break style, and of course the 38-year-old Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who told me yesterday, I will not be an armchair general in this game. Tommy Heinsohn, where does it all start for the Lakers if they're to get even here?
Well, Dick, it starts with defense. They got to create some misses on the Celtics offense and then get the rebounds to power it up the court. But the Celtics were playing such hustling defense against the break. Guys like Robert Parrish, who we'll see getting all over Kareem after the rebound, making it a tough outlet pass, and then just plain hustling back up the court quickly to stop any thoughts of a fast break. You see Parrish come up, and all of a sudden there's 1 defensive player, 2 defensive players, 3, 4, and 5 against only 4 Lakers. So they had the defensive edge there, Dick.
And they did everything right in game number 1. We've been talking about the psychological effects of getting blown out by 34 points. What are the effects on the team that wins by that many, the Celtics, in tonight's game?
Well, if the Celtics' hat sizes grew since Monday, they're in for trouble because they must win this ball game. It's a coach's nightmare, the new format. If they don't win tonight, there's a possibility that the Lakers could close them out before they ever get back to the Boston Garden. Casey Jones doesn't want that, and either does Larry Bird.
All right, Danny Ainge suffered a groin pull the other day, but he worked out yesterday, and he says he's fine. Other than that, everyone is ready to go. Beat L.A. is the chant as we send you back upstairs to Brent Musburger.
All right, Dick, one of the many numbers to keep in mind tonight. The Boston Celtics over the last 2 years are 21-1 in playoff games here in the Boston Garden. Their only loss was a year ago at the hands of the Los Angeles Lakers. So we come down to it. It is game 2. What kind of character will the Los Angeles Lakers show us tonight? It is their most important test by far.
The NBA on CBS. Tonight's championship game from Boston, Massachusetts is sponsored by light beer from Miller. Everything you've always wanted in a beer and less. Mazda and the full line of sophisticated Mazda products. And by Good News and Good News Pivot Razors from Gillette, the essence of shaving.
Could I go for a nice cold light beer from Miller? So I thought I'd just pop in at my favorite hangout and have one with the guys. Well, the whole gang drinks light. Oh, sure, there's a lot of other light beers around, but we all agree the light beer from Miller tastes terrific. And get this, it's less filling.
John, how many times have I told you, use the door, huh?
I forgot, I'm sorry.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Like I was saying, light beer tastes great. And another thing.
Have you ever seen a spoon that large?
No, not since breakfast.
He's got lots of names.
My name is Igor Stravinsky.
Hi there, I'm Harry S. Truman. I'm Don Corleone.
Lots of charm.
Can I borrow your towel for a sec? My car just hit a water buffalo.
And lots of nerve.
Lay back and enjoy.
What in the heck is the matter with you? Chevy Chase is Fletch.
Are you serious?
Rated PG. Starts Friday at select theaters.
The essence of climbing. John Bacher.
You gotta know the rock, every inch of it. But what gets you over is a feeling that says you're going all the way.
The essence of shaving.
This is the Gillette Good News disposable razor. Light, easy to handle, twin blades. But what Good News is really all about is a feeling. A feeling you only get from Gillette.
Good News and Good News Pivot from Gillette. The essence of shaving.
The stage is set for game 2 of this championship series, and right now we'll bring you the starting lineups for the Lakers and the Celtics. First for L.A., Pat Riley, 4 years as head coach, 4 years in the championship series. He has Kurt Rambis and James Worthy up front along with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. In the backcourt, it's Magic Johnson and second-year Byron Scott. Casey Jones looking for back-to-back world titles with Kevin McHale and Larry Bird at forward. Robert Parrish having a terrific year in the playoffs at center. And it's Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge teaming up in the backcourt. The officials for tonight, Jake O'Donnell and John Vanek, and Earl Strom will be at the scorer's table as the alternate. The Celtics' only loss in their last 22 were to these Lakers in game 1 a year ago. It's a new year, a new game. 1-0 Boston lead. And the Lakers control.
They want to pace the game as much as they possibly can to run the legs off the big guys of the Celtics, Dick. So the pace very important.
Inside to Kareem. Tried to draw a foul. Missed everything. The Celtics worked inside in game 1 first, and then when the Lakers collapsed, went outside and were effective with their perimeter shooting.
As a unusual matchup right now, Scott is guarding Dennis Johnson, and Magic Johnson has Danny Ainge.
And we'll find out what all that means the next time the Celtics come down. They go into Worthy, and Worthy's fouled by the Celtic Kevin McHale, I think. Right now, let's talk about what that means to have Byron Scott guarding Dennis Johnson.
Well, the more important one, Dick, is Magic Johnson guarding Danny Ainge, because they're going to use, I think, Magic to go down and double anything in the low post, giving him a bigger man to cut off the passing angles and also to keep him close to the boards to help get him started with rebounding fast break baskets.
It also makes it tougher for Dennis Johnson to catch up to Magic on a fast break. Larry Bird with his first shot. Bird came back with a 19-point game. He's been hampered by a variety of injuries. Last touch by a Celtic.
Well, James Worthy is guarding Larry Bird. And when he goes up the other end of the court, the Celtics want McHale to guard Worthy.
Byron Scott with Ainge in his face. Misses. And on the other end is Magic Johnson. The Lakers do not prefer the half-court style. Rambis working inside, tipped away. Ainge is wide open. And now the Lakers can run. Dennis Johnson is back. Here's Byron Scott. Worthy, offensive rebound. And now Jake O'Donnell has warned Dave Wohl, one of the Laker assistants, and went over them to him and pointed at his finger. So it looks like the officials are hearing everything from the benches early, Tommy.
But the Lakers seem to be on their toes very early here, getting that pace the way they want it.
Bird inside to Parrish, and a 3-second violation called against the Celtics. The team split 1-1 in the regular season. The Lakers won 1 fewer games than the Celtics, who had 63 victories. McHale is on Worthy. Scott practically all alone out there. 7 on the shot clock for the Lakers. Kareem fouled. Robert Parrish commits his first personal foul, and Tommy, he didn't pick up number 1 until the second half of game 1.
And it's very important for the Celtics, for this man, Robert Parrish, to stay out of early foul trouble, because the best matchup the Celtics have is McHale as a power forward, not a center.
Under 10 minutes to go in the first period. Byron Scott misses, but there's Kareem. Keeps it alive.
Lakers doing a great job on the boards here.
Scott. Misses again. Rambis on the offensive board. Kareem. And Tommy, you're so right. It's the Lakers who are dominating the offensive glass, something the Celtics ordinarily do.
They've got 2 and 3 people jamming both boards.
They have McHale posting up Rambis. No basket. The foul was before the shot on Kurt Rambis, and as we have said so many times, it is almost impossible to match up against Kevin McHale.
That matchup, the Lakers don't seem to be able to solve it. Nobody in the league has, really. So they're probably going to double team Kevin as much as they possibly can.
Kareem steals the pass. Intended for Bird, and Bird gets the ball back. There were not that many turnovers. 25 in all in game number 1, and that's not much for 2 teams that like to run.
They're trying to jam Magic Johnson before he gets to the head of the key.
Robert Parrish. And now Jake O'Donnell has pointed his finger and warned Rambis and Bird. They're not taking anything. On a
little banging underneath going on, and that's what happens in playoffs. But after the shot, Jake O'Donnell knocked the ball away, not Bird.
They were warning him because of the contact. Magic Johnson hitting outside. And it is 7-4 in favor of the Lakers, who already look far better than they did in the opening moments of game 1.
Their heads are in this series now.
Ames misses. Kareem. Control. Here's Magic, open court. We didn't see much of that on Monday. Beats Rambis. And the Lakers, 9-4 lead.
When Magic gets into the painted area, he makes everybody in the back line of the Celtics move their feet, and he usually finds the wide open man.
Tipped away, and it's still Celtics ball. Early shooting, and keep in mind that the Celtics shot 60% for the game. Lakers have got 6 more shots off than the Celtics. Dennis Johnson misses. Rambis clears. Couldn't get the outlet pass because Dennis Johnson jammed it.
But here comes Magic wide open.
And Worthy going in. Rebound McHale. 3-on-2. Boston. Offensive foul against Dennis Johnson, who did not like that call.
Kareem was conserving himself. He never came over half court so that when the Celtics got the ball, he was in perfect defensive position to cut Johnson off.
5-point lead for the Lakers. 7:39 to go in the first period. Harris is all over Kareem, who hits the skyhook. And Kareem has 4 points, and the Lakers are up by 7.
I'll tell you, they are pacing the game the way they want to pace the game, these Lakers.
And they're also getting the offensive rebounds that they did not see anything of in game number 1. Timeout. The crowd tells you how the Celtics are doing.
I've driven a lot of sports cars, but to get a legendary one for under $11,000, you're only talking Mazda RX-7.
Cockpit's very well thought out. Everything's right where it should be.
And nothing delivers power as smoothly as Mazda's rotary engine, all the way up through all 5 gears. Near perfect balance, too.
At $10,945, sports car value just doesn't get any better. Mazda RX-7.
Now, a new definition of quality and performance. The new Norelco electronic rotor track with the fastest, longest-lasting charge of any leading razor. Inside 3 floating heads is a patented lift and cut shaving system, guaranteed to shave you fast, clean, razor blade close, without a nick or cut or your money back. She'll love a gift from the Norelco ladies line.
Norelco, we put quality first.
Richard Pryor and John Candy are hilarious in this terrific movie, says USA Today. Richard Pryor proves he is capable of doing almost anything in the acting field, according to the New York Post. And the New York Daily News says Brewster's Millions is a broad, likable comedy. John Candy can do no wrong. Richard Pryor and John Candy in Brewster's Millions from Universal Pictures, rated PG. Now at select theaters. Check newspapers for locations and showtimes.
In one day, they raced 166 miles, battling the elements and the terrain. The Paris-Roubaix bicycle race this weekend on CBS Sports Saturday.
Comparing the first 6 minutes of Monday's game to tonight, look at the rebounds, where the Lakers have a big edge, and even though they're only shooting 38%, they're up by 7, Tom.
But they've shown me already, Dick, that they're very much more aggressive trying to pace it. And we're going to see one guy who has been exceedingly aggressive here on defense. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who virtually did nothing of the sort here on Monday, goes up and plays super defense against a real good driving guard, Dennis Johnson.
And he already has 4 rebounds, 1 more than he had in all of game number 1. That's the story. We're in the first period. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn at Boston Garden. McHale guarded by Rambis, doubled with Kareem. Harris. He has 2 shots from outside.
But the double teaming is starting to confuse the Celtics. They've thrown a couple away.
Into Kareem, open Rambis. Posting up is Worthy on McHale. Ames challenged by Magic Johnson. Double with Johnson and Worthy on McHale. McHale short, and here are the Lakers 3-on-2. Worthy goes in, and that's a Laker fast break.
That is a classic Laker fast break with Worthy for the stop.
Larry Bird with a runner, and here's Worthy, and here are the Lakers again with Magic Johnson in the middle. Going all the way in for another basket, and the Lakers have run up a 15-6 lead on the Celtics.
Now this is what the Celtics were afraid of, getting those feet going, the Lakers. They haven't been able to slow them down like they did game 1.
10-2 run right now for L.A. And Larry Bird misses. Scott pulls up against Ames. And it's now 12-2. Casey Jones is yet to call a timeout. And now he's going to call a 22nd timeout. And the Celtics trail 17-6, and the crowd is indeed out of the ball game at this point.
We never saw anything like this in game 1 for the Lakers. Watch how it happens. Magic pushing it up against 2 men and nicely gives it to James Worthy, who's the fastest forward. When you get him out near the head of the key and then into that lane, he's virtually unstoppable.
And the fast break points, the Lakers have a shutout going right now. Larry Bird was hit by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and seems to have a bloody nose over at the Celtic bench. There it is. Well, it's old blood and guts, Larry Bird, and we can expect this series to have a lot of physical play, perhaps some intimidation and some confrontations as well.
It looks to me like the Lakers have also solved McHale a little bit.
Johnson going in. The basket would have counted if it gone. And Dennis Johnson will go to the line and shoot. Foul is on Byron Scott.
The Lakers defense, Dick, has really taken away the inside game a lot better than it did game one. They're doubling down in unusual ways, cutting off the weak side so that they've almost picked off a couple of passes. It's kind of confused the Celtics a little bit. Dennis Johnson's move just then to drive is an attempt to break that defense up.
And of course the Lakers are also alert in their rotation to get back so that the Celtics don't have unmolested outside shots.
Well, Byron Scott, being the guy that's doing the rotating, is much faster than Magic Johnson, who was doing the rotation Monday.
Inside to Worthy. Goes with his left hand, smartly changed hands going up, and it's still an 11-point lead with 5.5 remaining in the first period. McHale and Rambis hit him from behind. Second personal foul on Kurt Rambis, who led the Lakers with 9 rebounds in the opening game.
You know, when the Lakers get out to this kind of lead, Dick, early in the ball game, boy, it really gives them a whirl of confidence, and then they really start flying. So this could be a blowout happening in the other direction.
Harris pushed by Kareem. Kareem had foul trouble early in game one. This is his first.
Well, they want to make Jabbar work as much as possible. A 38-year-old man, they want to keep him really facing the ball all the time.
Dennis Johnson's shot misses. Kareem controls. 5 rebounds for Kareem, but you can see the aggressiveness of the Lakers. Bullet pass, Magic to James Worthy.
Well, Parrish and McHale not back as quickly as they were in game one. The wingmen of the Lakers getting wide open.
21-8 the score. McHale drives the baseline. And here's Kevin McHale with his first points of the ball game. He had 26, tied with Wedman for the scoring lead. Kareem can't go baseline, double team. Passes to Rambis. And a foul.
I tell you, what they're doing with Jabbar is trying to get Parrish to foul him again. They're isolating him one-on-one, so none of the Celtics can get down there and even attempt a double team.
Foul is on Larry Bird, his first. That was a good pass by Byron Scott to get it low to Kareem to start the play. Here's Rambis. Tommy, Pat Riley was talking about playing in Boston Garden, and he says it's dingy, dark, and dirty. They like the lights and the glitter of the Forum, and it's not that easy for visiting teams to come in and win here.
Well, it's a great atmosphere around here, and they all think there's a leprechaun sitting on the rim, too.
Maybe there is. I don't know. Brett's closer to that than we are. Look for Bird. Good pass from Dennis Johnson. DJ made that play. Coming right back, Scott gets by Ames. Foul, basket count.
Look how quickly they get that ball at the scoring position, even after a made basket.
And Bob McAdoo comes in. We'll tell you his role after this look.
We're going to see Worthy trying to get into the passing lane from the wrong side, allows Bird to sneak through. But watch how quickly they inbound the ball. Wow, that's getting the fast break started even after made shots. Very difficult to do.
Bob McAdoo is coming to the ball game for Kurt Rambis. He is an effective scorer off the bench. He was forced in early as a sub for Kareem in game one. Parrish to Bird, and a foul against the Lakers, who are showing definite aggressiveness, even on defense, even on a foul.
Both teams going to that big guy right now, trying to wear Kareem out by going to Parrish, and the Lakers giving it to Kareem, hoping that Parrish will go pick up some early fouls.
Worthy committed a foul, and now the Lakers want a timeout. 4:08 remaining in the first period. So far, this game's colored L.A. 24-12.
Designs that work are designs that last. And a Delta washerless faucet lasts and lasts and lasts. When it's on, it's on. And when it's off, it's off. So it works just as beautifully as it looks. Enduring designs by Delta for the beautiful designs that you live in. Delta Faucet, we're first because we last.
This is an average hand, but not everybody's average. So at IBM, we make sure our products fit you, whatever size you are. IBM machines swivel and move, adjust and tilt, because you do. So an IBM product not only makes you more productive, it makes you more comfortable. You'll recognize that the moment you get your hands on one.
The Honda Big Red is one of the most fully equipped machines you can buy. It's got electric starting, an automatic clutch, a powerful 4-stroke engine that can pull up to 850 pounds. It's even got hydraulic suspension front and rear, and a very handy reverse gear. In fact, the only thing Honda's Big Red doesn't come with is the driver.
24-12, the Lakers lead with 4:08 to go in the first period, and the crowd has been quiet, Tommy.
And right here, we're going to see James Worthy, a key man on that fast break. He's cheating up the court. Larry Bird underneath, battling for the rebound. And as soon as they don't get the rebound, Worthy can be way up the court ahead of Larry Bird or Kevin McHale. Good outlet pass, and look at Worthy way up there before any of the Celtics can get at him. He cheats the court. He uses his speed. They better get back fast.
He's the workhorse in game number 1, and he has been the top scorer in the playoffs for the Lakers. He started 0 for 4 from the field in game 1, but he has 9 points right now, and 9 of the Lakers' 16 as their frontliners have doubled the Celtic frontliners. Larry Bird is on the line. He's shooting 1 plus the penalty.
He likes red on his jersey. I'll tell you, he's the kind of player that likes red on his jersey.
Well, when he sees blood, it seems to spark something in him. 10-point lead for the Lakers. Magic Johnson looking for Kareem. Double teamed. Johnson is open. And the Lakers have hit those outside shots.
When they hit those, Diggs, off the double team, it makes you want to stop doubling after a while, and then Kareem starts hitting the hook shots.
Larry Bird, top of the key, quickly double, puts it up anywhere, and is fouled. There was an elbow inside, foul against the Lakers away from the ball, and it's on Bob McAdoo.
Hello to the playoffs, my man, and we'll see Parrish trying to get good position there. Look at McAdoo fighting for that low post spot on the rebound. I think they had a nice talk after that game on Monday.
I guess they did, and they had a couple of days to talk it over, and into the ball game is one of the heroes of game number 1, Scott Wedman, who had a record-breaking 11 for 11, broke Bill Bradley's shooting accuracy mark in the championship series. So no free throws for the Celtics there. Came up empty. 3.5 to play in the first. McAdoo uses Kareem as a screen. Bird the rebound. Anyone's ball. Magic picks it off.
Poor pass by Larry Bird.
Looking to run is Magic. Celtics get back quickly. Every play seems to start with Kareem in the half court, and Magic seems to finish it with another jump shot.
But they spread out their offense, boy, the Lakers, and lots of openings.
Magic is 4 for 4 from the field, slapped away by Byron Scott. Coming into the ball game now is Scott Wedman, who had 26 points in that first game, including 4 for 4 from the three-point line. McHale is out. He scored 2. Slow start for Kevin.
They got to him early with the double teams, and it's a tough job for McHale to run like he has to run in this series. He's not that fast.
Harris, all his points have come from 8 feet or beyond. He has 6 points to lead Boston. Worthy, single coverage against Wedman. Oh! Kareem is there on the other end. No foul, Laker ball. I have never seen in the latter part of the year Kareem so vicious on that offensive glass as he is in this game.
I think he said he's going to be the chairman. He sure has shown me something here in this first quarter.
Byron Scott from outside. Too hard off the glass. Comes up with it and lays it in.
Robert Parrish had cheated up the court and let Kareem get alone underneath.
Wedman going for three. It's a new game. Bird. Inside and a reverse layup. Lakers are up by 12, and we're winding down with 2 minutes to go in the first period. Traveling against McAdoo.
Bird was right up there and faked at him and really made McAdoo walk. But the matchup right now for the Lakers to go to is Worthy being guarded by the smaller Wedman.
Ray Williams will be coming into the game shortly. Bird is knocked to the floor, and a Laker foul has been charged to James Worthy, his second foul.
Well, when they start setting picks for Larry Bird, you really have to do something, and he's trying to create some room to fight through. A little bit of acting there by Larry, and Worthy knew it, but he gets called for the foul nonetheless.
Ray Williams is into the game as the first guard off the bench for the Celtics, and Michael Cooper has come in for the Lakers, and Cooper, one of the better defensive players in the league, will be all over Larry Bird.
Well, it appears to me, Dick, the Lakers have unleashed their speed. They try to beat your big men down the floor, and should they really work that advantage for too much longer, Robert Parrish is going to be walking around on his knees.
Larry Bird has 8. Ray Williams into the game guarding Byron Scott. McAdoo against Bird. Bird the rebound. Here's Ray Williams. Open, Dennis Johnson. Kareem the rebound. Outlet pass. 7 rebounds for Abdul-Jabbar. Here's Magic. Traveling. Nope, they call a foul against Boston. Celtic foul will be their 5th, and the Lakers will go to the line and shoot 2.
You've got to try and stop Magic Johnson before he gets to the head of the key. You can't let him get down to the foul line because he gives you a little head fake, a body move, and he can go right or left.
Mitch Kupchak and Greg Kite have come in the ball game. These are the backup setters for the respective teams.
Here's Magic. Look at Williams has dropped below the foul line, and he tried to force him one way, and Magic gets clobbered by Ray Williams. But Magic has done his job, smile and all, pushing the ball up the court. Although he's not been smiling, he looks got an angry face, and so does Kareem. That's what I was looking for from these Lakers in game 1.
These are the men who have to lead this team, Kareem and Magic Johnson, and so far they have. Ray Williams. Ray Williams in the playoffs has been up and down, but when he's hot, he has hit some clutch shots and has played solid ball.
I think he really wants to show what he's worth in these playoffs, Ray Williams.
9-point Laker lead. McAdoo over Kite. Kupchak pressing the boards, and here's Wedman. The Lakers are back on defense. No fast break for Boston this time. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Dennis Johnson.
Oh, Dennis Johnson has taken over the leadership of the Celtics right now.
It's down to 7. Byron Scott with Ray Williams on him. Scott misses, and the Celtics can cut it to 5. Dennis Johnson again. And the Celtics have outscored the Lakers 8-1 to come within 5. LA will play for the last shot. In a crowd, Magic Johnson nearly lost it, and they'll have a jump off. You know, that's reminiscent of problems that Magic has had in that kind of situation in the past.
Well, the clock was really stuck on 22, and Magic knew it, and everybody was pointing to the clock.
He'll jump, Magic with Kite, and we're going to jump it again.
I'll tell you, Casey Jones has gone to his bench using Craig Kite, and he's played pretty well so far in a short stint.
He had 10 points in the first game. The Celtics ahead of the field, picked off by Cooper with 3 seconds to go, and L.A. won't get a shot off. Boston has come back in this one.
This is what Magic was upset about, Dick. Look at that clock. It never moved, and everybody, Pat Riley up the top of your screen saying, hey, something's wrong with the clock.
That's the end of the first period with the score. The Lakers 31, the Celtics 26. Will return after this word from your local station.
This is CBS.
Girl, I've got a secret. See if you can guess. Before the night is over, there will be no doubt. Yeah, you find out. Oh, building start to shake. I do a double take. Just kiss it. Ooh, my secret. Ooh, sparks in the fire. Lightning in the sky. Oh, my secret.
America's game. It's fantastic.
We start the second period, but before we do, there's Earl Strom, the alternate official, talking to the timekeeper. Not only did the clock stop once at 22 seconds, it stopped twice. And here, watch the clock and see it stop twice.
Boy, they get an awful lot of time coming up with 25 seconds to go.
And Dennis Johnson will hit from the
score. And it goes to 22, Dick. And they do have problems with the clock around here. Either that or the scorers, the timer's got a short finger.
I think it got jammed, obviously. I don't think the timekeeper stopped it.
That's the responsibility of Earl Strom, to be alert to that clock jamming like that.
And then, of course, they finished it up.
That's Craig Kite. He's alert. And Magic's pointing at the clock on the side.
Right.
And that's why we didn't see that clutch play. It was confusion.
There are two clocks, of course, that the players can see, one atop and one as they're coming down the court in either direction. But at the end of one period, the Lakers lead 31-26. They had a 14-point lead, but the Celtics made a closing run of 8-1 to cut it to 5.
You know, that clock at either end, Dick, players are taught not to look at that because people used to throw their coats over it.
Inside, Whitney. Ray Williams made that play.
I'll tell you, the second unit of the Celtics doing a great job on a comeback.
Wedman picking up Johnson, and there's Worthy, has a shot blocked by McHale. Goes up again, and James Worthy has 11 points, and he is the high scorer in the ball game. The leading scorers for the Celtics, Bird and Dennis Johnson, each with 8. McHale backing in, and he took too many steps.
Perhaps the best guy in the Lakers to guard McHale is Bob McAdoo, in my opinion. He's used to playing center.
You know, last year in the championship series, McHale really only had 2 solid games out of 7.
McHale's really a center.
That's new to a lot of teams, but you're right, he plays both. Cooper for 3. And Cooper hits a 3-point shot. He led the NBA in 3-point shooting last year.
I'll tell you, I think this game is going to be a real doozy.
Parrish. And Ray Williams inside to McHale, who's double-teamed, and it drops.
Oh, soft shot.
6-point lead, Lakers. Celtics took a 2-0 lead, and L.A. has had the advantage ever since.
They've spread out their offense, creating a lot of passing room to get the ball into Jabbar.
McAdoo driving in, and is fouled. He saw an opening and took advantage. And it's on Robert Parrish. That'll be his second personal foul.
That's got to get Casey Jones thinking a little bit. He's kind of been a blessed player in the playoffs, Robert Parrish, not picking up any fouls to speak of in either the Philadelphia series or in Game 1.
McAdoo is the only Laker who used to play for the Boston Celtics. He played in 20 games back in 1978 and 79. Look at the Laker offensive rebounding advantage. That is not a mistake.
They are really working hard the boards.
Celtics have made a living off the offensive glass in recent years. McHale has it stripped away. Magic Johnson gets by Ray Williams and feeds Cooper, and Cooper is fouled. He has to be held off. He did not like that contact. As Kurt Rambis and Byron Scott come back in the game, McAdoo and Magic Johnson go to the bench.
I'll tell you, it's starting to get a little bit more physical. One of the things they're going to see, the more the Lakers get on the fast break, are those hard fouls before they go up for the layup.
Larry Bird will be checking in. Magic with Dave Wall, the assistant coach. Wedman goes out of the ball game, and Larry Bird, who has scored 8 points, is back in there.
Well, Wedman did his job.
One out of two for Cooper. Lakers are trapping at midcourt, and they're all over McHale. Bird against Kareem. Loose ball, and we'll have a jump ball. The Lakers really switched off well defensively.
Boy, they're trapping anything that goes inside whatsoever, and Kareem is doing a heck of a job getting over there to help.
One of the world's best drivers talks about Ford quality.
To the fellow who pushes this rig for a living, this cab is his home and his office for days at a time. That's why it's got to be comfortable and, above all, functional. There are 45 gauges and controls in here. But see how Ford ergonomic engineers have clustered them around me? Everything easy to read, easy to reach. That's engineering quality that really proves itself over the long haul.
Of course, that doesn't mean ergonomics aren't important for the short haul. The driving position of this Mercury Topaz is designed to make it easy to see what's going on in here and out there.
Whether you're talking a huge truck you drive across country or a Topaz you drive across town, Ford is building in quality you can reach out and feel.
Ford. You'll feel the quality because quality is job one.
I'm out here moving earth by 7 a.m. A few hours of this, and boy, I'm good and ready for a Milky Way bar. Take a break, get my mind on what's ahead. I love it.
You get the goodness of a quarter cup of milk in every bar. There's milk, natural cane and corn sugars, and thick, thick chocolate in a Milky Way bar.
Boy, that Milky Way's great. Life doesn't stop when the workday's done.
Milky Way day helps you work, rest, and play.
Coverage of the 18th Kemper Open begins Saturday on CBS Sports.
Tommy, you saw it early, and you said it, that the Lakers are on their toes. They're much more alert tonight than they were, and they know McHale's a threat, and they're all over him.
That defensive adjustment, Magic Johnson got DJ, allows a big double man to get in there, and they built a house around McHale, and Magic Johnson can really push it up when he comes away with steals like that. And look at, this is called hard foul. You're not going to see too many uncontested layups if the Celtics have a chance to bang.
Well, a lot of the questions concerning the Lakers, can they handle the intimidation and the physical confrontations? And it looks like they mean business at this point. Quinn Buckner is coming to the ball game, replacing Dennis Johnson. Buckner, a veteran. who's a solid defensive performer. His time has dwindled in recent years, but he's still a valuable man off the bench. 9:45 to go in the first half. Lakers by 9. Scott picked up by Bird off the screen. Rambis on the offensive glass. Ray Williams, but L.A. is back. Byron Scott on Bird. Over Rambis. It's a piece of cake for McHale.
That's the best. McHale at his best. When they get the ball up quick before the team defense of the Lakers can get the double team going, he hits.
7-point lead. Kareem. Sky hook, and Kareem with 6 in the ball game now.
I'll tell you, Kareem has come to play. I don't think he liked all those people talking to him for the last 2 days.
Looking inside of McHale again. Ray Williams working it himself, penetrating. And Rambis looking for the rebound. No outlet pass there. Now they find Cooper. Yes. Rolls in. Michael Cooper, and the Celtics push it back up quickly. L.A. getting back nicely on defense, stopping whatever fast break Boston has in mind.
Bird's trying to take Michael Cooper inside.
Double team. Harris short this time. There's Bird though. And a foul on the Lakers. Bird was hit in the head. Coming in the ball game, Danny Ainge. Here's the foul.
That's Bird fighting for position down there. That's a good place for him to be because you ought to have the height advantage. But look, he draws a double team right away. He loves to be double teamed. And look at him fight for that rebound against Jabbar. The foul before he made the good pass.
Kareem's foul is his second. Fall away by Dennis Johnson. And there's McHale. Parrish. And it gets sticky in there. And another foul. Loose ball against L.A. That'll be on Rambis. And Kurt Rambis has 3 now. And coming off the bench quickly after a short rest is Bob McAdoo. Rambis has 3. Worthy and Kareem each have 2.
Now, Rambis is really a banger in there. McAdoo isn't. Now, Rambis was really throwing his body around against the big guys of the Celtics.
Harris is standing way outside. Kareem now trying to double inside. Foul. 2-shot foul. And now Cooper has to be separated again. Michael Cooper really has lost his cool a little bit as far as...
I tell you, Cooper tries to get right up inside Larry Bird's jersey, and Bird doesn't like another occupant. So I think they're going to go at it for a little bit here.
Bird has said many times that he thinks Cooper is the best defender that he's played against. McHale has missed 3 in a row. Greg Kite, the second-year center from Brigham Young, will come back in the ball game, and Robert Parrish will go out.
I think Robert Parrish is limping off the court. I think he may have twisted something, and boy, that is not a good sign for the Celtics.
Ray Melchiori, the trainer, is going to take him into the dressing room. So Robert Parrish now hobbling more as he goes into the Boston dressing room. McHale makes the free throw after missing 3. And it's a 43-33 game. The Lakers lead, 7:45 to go in the first half. Cooper is guarded by Dennis Johnson. 7 on the shot clock. Kareem against Greg Kite with 2 seconds. Cooper gets it off in time and hits at the 24-second buzzer.
Well, they're going to work Greg Kite, the Lakers, if possible, but the Celtics are going to try and protect Kite, so the outside game of the Lakers better start hitting.
McHale inside, double team. Dennis Johnson gets Worthy in the air. Kareem blocks it. 3-on-1 for L.A. And Worthy is fouled by Greg Kite. Worthy was determined to take it to the hoop.
And Danny Ainge tried to break it up by going hard at Byron Scott before the pass was made down close to the hoop.
Scott Wedman returns to the game. So both teams showing their hand early by going to the bench and shuttling players in and out.
Well, Wedman at the guard spot means that they're really going to try to control the boards without Robert Parrish using Wedman as the guard.
Danny Ainge was 7 of 9 from the field in the first period to spark the Celtics runaway in game 1. He has not scored so far in this game.
I think he's being troubled by a groin pull.
He told you he was all right.
Yeah, but I think he says that. Not getting up on his jump shot.
Knocked away, Laker ball. And now Boston wants a timeout. Celtics trying to get things together as they trail with 6:52 left.
Legends of the NBA, the greats remember, sponsored by Schick.
I was ahead of my time in terms of just a lot of God-given talent, so that I geared my talents towards, you know, this playmaker's role. I think if you're going to be a playmaker, it more or less has to reflect your personality as well. Not that you've got to be the most unselfish guy in the world, but you've got to be selfish in terms of taking certain pride in setting up a play rather than scoring a basket yourself.
How many Schicks can you get from one disposable Schick?
Monday. Schick, schick. Schick. Tuesday. Schick, schick. Schick. Wednesday. Schick, schick. Thursday. Schick. Friday. Schick, schick.
No one makes a sharp, long-lasting disposable quite like
Saturday. Schick, schick. Schick. Sunday. Schick, schick. Schick, schick.
How many Schicks does your disposable give you?
Schick, schick.
Robert Parrish came off the floor before. Pat O'Brien right now is at the Celtic dressing room. Pat?
Thank you, Dick. I'm with Dr. Silva, the team doctor. And what was it wrong with Robert Parrish?
He got hit in the high on the right side of the buttocks. It's all in soft tissue. It was iced. He can move his leg fine. He'll be back playing.
All right, doctor, thank you. Quickly back to you, Dick.
Thank you very much, Pat. And so Robert Parrish, who has 6 points and 5 rebounds, is back on the floor.
But any kind of problem with his legs will hurt the Celtics' defensive game plan of Parrish getting back quickly to try and stem the tide of the Lakers' break.
He's had an elbow injury. And Robert Parrish is going to give it a try and check into the ball game right now. Greg Kite goes out. And I wonder if the Lakers will want to go right at him to see just exactly how he is.
That could be a point, but they have a tremendous speed advantage right now, the Lakers over the Celtics with Wedman in the backcourt.
They're going to Kareem and testing Parrish. Traveling call against Abdul-Jabbar. 6:40 remaining in the first half. The Lakers are leading by 13. The Celtics had cut it to 5 after LA moved out to a 14-point first period lead. McHale has it knocked out from behind by McAdoo. 4 on 3 for the Lakers. Scott pulls it up. Bird tears it away. Byron Scott is 3 for 11, so he's having a shooting problem so far in this game as well. McHale on a fallaway. Halfway through the second period. Lead is 11 for the Lakers. Kareem, who was helped out, double team on him, but he scores anyway. And right now, the Lakers are up. Worthy and McHale are the leading scorers.
There's not an instant of hesitation on Kareem as to what he's to do in this ball game.
Magic Johnson comes back in the ball game. He had 9 points in the first period. And Michael Cooper, who had 8 here in the second, goes out of the game. Cooper's played well.
And he got right up in Bird's jersey. And now Magic is guarding Larry Bird.
Wedman inside of Parrish. Good position for Robert Parrish. Foul by McAdoo. And that'll be 3 on Bob McAdoo. Rambis and McAdoo have 3. When
Bob McAdoo plays a steady ball game for these Lakers, he gives them instant points. And Pat Riley obviously worried about the 3 on McAdoo, as Kupchak is about to report in.
Parrish hits the free throw. So McAdoo, the scorer, goes out, and Kupchak, the banger, comes into the ballgame.
Well, McAdoo really is the perfect 4th man on a fast break. He can shoot from outside, and a couple of times when that didn't develop, he banged the boards off the fast break. Kupchak doesn't have the speed nor the game to do that.
He's more of the banger type, of course. He's aggressive inside, coming back gamely from tough knee injuries and rehabilitation. Magic gets it into Kareem, the skyhook. Bird comes out of it. 5:15 to go in the first half. Celtics trying to cut it to 10. Parrish and Kupchak collide, and Robert Parrish got awfully angry for a moment at Mitch Kupchak and is telling Magic Johnson all about it.
Well, there's been some hard fouls up the other end, but here's Robert Parrish. The good up fake lifts him, and look at the hard foul that time by Kupchak. It's tit for tat.
I'll tell you something, Tommy. You're right. Kupchak doesn't have the speed, but he has the ability to be physical, and that's what the Lakers need. Meanwhile, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was called for the foul, and that is his 3rd personal.
He knows how to play with 3 and 4 fouls, but at this early stage in the second quarter, Pat Riley might say, sit down a little bit.
The matchup of centers. 48 to 38, 10-point lead. L.A. has led all the way, except for the first basket of the ball game. Worthy gets it back on a 2-man game with Magic Johnson. And Worthy commits the foul. It is the 4th team foul on Boston. The Lakers are already in the penalty. Kevin McHale picks up his 2nd.
Well, he told us the other day before game 1 that he was going to challenge Worthy, force him to the middle, and then go up and try and block the shot. And McHale is the perfect player to try and play Worthy in the low post because he's got those long arms and good timing to get at the shot. But they can't afford to let him get in foul trouble either, the Celtics.
Shooting percentage is important in this ball game because Pat Riley said if you can hold the Celtics below 50, you can run, trigger the break, and have a shot at winning the ball game. Bird. Short on the ball away. Kareem gets the rebound. He's playing with 3 personal fouls. Pass from Magic to Kupchak, and Kupchak inside. Makes it 52 to 38, and that matches the biggest lead of the ball game for the Lakers. So they have already thwarted one Celtic threat, and the Celtics lose it again right there. L.A. has Boston right now on the run.
I'll tell you, Magic guarding Bird doesn't allow him to get up the court quick enough to catch Kupchak.
Jake O'Donnell told Danny Ainge you got to wait, and the crowd behind him was saying, come on in. Ainge is sitting.
Very accommodating here in Boston.
4:10 to go. Kareem. Knocked to the floor is Larry Bird, and Kupchak is doing a muscle job for the Lakers.
I'll tell you, there are some bodies banging in this game.
Parrish is doubled. Dennis Johnson. And Byron Scott slapped at the ball. No basket. And a loose ball foul against Kevin McHale. 3 on McHale. Ainge comes in for the Boston Celtics. This is Dick Stockton and Tom Heitzig here at Boston Garden. This is Game 2 of the NBA World Championship Series. The Celtics ran away with Game 1, but this has been a different ball game. As you see, the Lakers lead with 3:46 to go in the first half.
When you take one of these things up, you've got a crew to help. When it comes to my car and truck, I do the work myself. In 40 years, AC spark plugs have never let me down. And with today's technology, AC fire ring spark plugs are engineered to give you up to 30,000 miles of reliable performance. Never wait for trouble. Go with AC fire ring spark plugs.
Now get rebates on AC spark plugs. Call 1-800-AC-DELCO for a participating dealer.
The events we speak of here took place when a man's reputation was his most precious possession.
I implore you, my lord, not to take leave of your senses. I'll not compromise, Edmund.
Historians disagree as to when the dispute began, but we do know that many brave men defended their honor to the utmost.
There must be some other way to settle this, Lord Croydon. Stand back. Only this way will honor be satisfied.
Good morning, gentlemen. You know the rules. Lord Henford.
Stand you ready?
I am.
Lord Croydon.
I am.
Then, gentlemen, take your ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the last time, gentlemen, have you altered your positions?
Tastes great. Less filling.
Tastes great. Less filling.
So be it.
No one knows how long the argument has raged, but one thing is certain. Light beer from Miller went on to become the favorite light beer of all time.
3:46 remaining in the second period. For what's coming on up at halftime, Brent Musburger tells you what's on tap.
Coming up at the half, a late sports news update, including a look at the NBA coaches' recent comings and goings. Pat O'Brien will tell us about Kevin McHale of the Celtics.
Big old Irish kid. Big old white Irish kid. You can't beat a place like Boston playing, that's for sure.
And our live guest, none other than mild-mannered Hubie Brown. All that coming up at the half.
First half scoring here at Boston Garden compared to game one. Horse of a different color as far as the Lakers are concerned. And right now, Tommy, I think the Lakers are beating the Celtics in their own game.
They certainly are. They're getting a little more physical, particularly Kupchak. And even Bob McAdoo, while he was in there, certainly Rambis was throwing his body around. And Riley has shown that at that power forward spot, he's perfectly willing to use 3 people.
Pat Riley knows that if the Lakers can win this game, they go back home for 3. And that's a big advantage in this championship series format. Kupchak will be on the line right now. Keep in mind that Kareem remains in the game with 3 personal fouls. Along with Rambis and McAdoo, McHale also has 3, and Cedric Maxwell has made his first appearance in the ball game.
If he were 100%, he would be able to let them play the inside game, and he's really good at drawing fouls when the team respects his ability. I don't think that Pat Riley thinks he's 100% and is going to really go and double him.
Celtics said that he had a very good practice and ran as well as he ever had since the injury and took it to the hoop on transition. So let's see if we see a different play from Maxwell. He's had that knee injury that's bothered him since February. Inside, Dennis Johnson stopped by the Lakers. Dennis gets it back and gets it over Kareem.
And Jabbar was guarding Maxwell that time, and he can help out on the double team.
And Kareem has to watch out for that 4th personal foul as well. 3:15 remaining in the first half. 13-point lead. Kupchak, baseline. And a big basket for the Lakers, and now they're up by 15, and that's their biggest lead of the ball game.
Boy, they are executing their set offense beautifully.
Running when they have the chance and playing a smothering defense. Kupchak gets knocked away. The foul will be against the Lakers and is called against Mitch Kupchak. Talk about physical players who like to be enforcers. Pat Riley is going to bring in Larry Spriggs, who does it from the forward position. So I'll tell you one thing, I think that the game is going to get more physical, not less at this point.
I don't think they had practice here at the Boston Garden. I think they were in the Nautilus place for the last 2 days.
Brent was telling us about some of the heavyweight championship fights that they've held here at the top of the broadcast.
But Spriggs offers something unusual for them. He's big, brawny, can bang, but also has great speed to implement that fast break.
Kareem goes to the bench with 3 fouls. The Lakers would like to get out of this half with this kind of a lead and their big center on the bench. Worthy, one-on-one against Maxwell. Spriggs and Kupchak. Kupchak goes up. Spriggs gets the rebound. Foul. And the Lakers have to be sky high with that offensive rebounding effort on that sequence.
Well, Riley's doing a masterful job of rotating some of his people here. Fresh legs. Look at Spriggs in there. Kupchak, and strong move. Kupchak says, it's about time I got myself into one of these key games like this. but look at those people bang on the board.
Greg Kite replacing Parrish, who goes out with 3 personal fouls. So the starting centers each have 3.
Well, sooner or later, we knew that you'd have to see Craig Kite in this series because teams are going to direct their attack at Parrish, or he was just going to tire out from running as hard as he did. For instance, in game 1. Now, let's see what Kite can do in this ball game. They've got to find some help inside the Celtics.
Well, the Lakers have found it with their man off the bench in Mitch Kupchak. Danny Ainge gets his first basket of the ball game here with 2:28 to go in the first half. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn at Boston Garden. Lakers win, they even up the series, and now the Celtics are called for an illegal defense, and Robert Parrish is going to go to the Celtic dressing room with 2:19 to go.
And they caught Larry Bird for an illegal defense that time, playing free safety.
That's a warning. The second time it's called, it'll be a technical foul. 2:10 remaining in the half. Spriggs looking for Worthy. Bird will give him the shot. Switch Maxwell on. 8 on the shot clock. James Worthy swoops high. Kite gets the rebound. And we have under 2 minutes to go in the half. Ainge. 2 in a row for Danny Ainge.
Magic is slowing it down. This might be the time to really push it at the Celtics.
Magic looking for help. And it's off of Larry Bird. Kite and Kupchak are not playing patty cake out there.
It's getting more unfriendly in this building.
Well, Kupchak is giving the Lakers what they need against this team. There's no question about that. Magic with a hook shot. And it goes off. And the Celtics can cut it to 9 with 1:23 to go in the first half. Knocked away by Magic Johnson. Foot race to the hoop. And Magic has 11 points in the ball game, and it's up to 13 again.
Boy, when he gets flying, these Lakers, they just stand there and go even tougher.
Ainge has the shot blocked by Kupchak. And here comes L.A. pushing it up the way you like teams to push it up. Byron Scott is hit by Kite. The basket counts at a foul. And the Lakers are showing that they can take it as well as dish it out. Big story of the ball game right here. The fast break points, and this is L.A.'s style.
When they get out there and as effectively as 23 points and a half, you are in serious trouble.
Scott Wedman coming into the ball game, replacing Larry Bird, who goes out with 8. Parrish with 11 leads Boston. Worthy with 14 is the high score for the Lakers.
And you know, the more this game goes along, the more effect that speed is going to have. It's going to tire out the likes of McHale, Parrish, and Bird.
And the Lakers' lead of 16 is their biggest. Worthy out to meet Johnson. Wedman looking for Maxwell. Stolen by Byron Scott. Scott all the way. Yes. 30 seconds to go in the half, and the L.A. Lakers have opened it up to 64-46. And it's turned into an L.A. dominated first half. They have run, and they have beaten the Celtics inside. 5 on the shot clock. Wedman. This is from the baseline. And with 7 seconds to go, the Lakers can get off the last shot. Alley-oop knocked away by Dennis Johnson. 1 second. And that'll do it for the first half. But the L.A. Lakers have shown one thing, that they're not going to shrink against these Boston Celtics. They lead 64-46 at halftime.
Nissan Sentra owners love to talk about their cars.
I own a 1985 Nissan Sentra, which is bright, perky, red, cute, and I love it.
The Nissan Sentra all around is a very well-engineered car.
And the car has exceeded everything that we expected out of it. I'm 6 feet tall, and small cars are sometimes a problem for me. The Sentra
is a different story. It's big on the inside.
Sentra, America's most popular import.
Try and take it away from me.
The name is Nissan.
The oysters we make our living on live pretty tough, but they live in a very fragile world.
So when Phillips Petroleum came here to look for oil, they used aerial infrared photography to keep from disturbing places we fish for oysters.
That's why I buy Phillips gasoline. Not because of what they're doing in the Delta, but because of what they're not doing.
That's performance. From Phillips Petroleum, you'll find performance in everything we do.
Don't worry about me. I go through floods to bring you this offer.
What a day that was. We wanted to sell our house fast and for the right price, but Kim from our Century 21 office kept saying, don't worry, and she just wouldn't give up.
And then on the worst day ever, she brought us the best offer of all. How do you find people like that?
All you gotta do is pick up the phone. Put number 1 to work for you. Century 21.
I like things that last. This old car runs like a watch. My house is over 96 years old. Been married to Enid 23 years. Here's the first new thing I bought in 8 years. 9. It's a Honda lawnmower. Overhead valve design, real durable. I bought it because it'll last. Like my dog, 12 years old. Known Fred forever. This shirt belonged to my dad.
The Honda lawnmower. It could be the last lawnmower you ever buy.
We are back in the Boston Garden. I'm Brent Musburger, and what a difference a game makes. It was only a game ago, and the Boston Celtics, of course, were leading by 30. A pleasure to be joined by Hubie Brown, the coach of the New York Knicks, and I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar came to play tonight, Hubie.
Well, Brent, there's no doubt about it. They definitely have him as the primary in their game plan. They have put the ball into him on a low post. Now, let's forget about the points that he scored. He has kicked the ball out for 5 jump shot baskets, hit Kurt Rambis twice when Bird was double teaming him. So he's responsible for 7 field goals along with what he's contributed himself.
Here we have another major sports story unfolding tonight. The Edmonton Oilers are closing in on their second straight Stanley Cup triumph. Right now they lead Philadelphia. The score is 4-1. We have some highlights of that action. And, of course, the Flyers turned in a sensational year for their young coach, Mike Keenan. And tonight it was Yari Curry scoring his first goal of the finals, and that got Edmonton rolling. Then it was the splendid defenseman, Paul Coffey, who took over his 11th goal of the playoffs, and it was 3-1. It was Coffey again, his second goal of the game, and he had broken Bobby Orr's record for goals by a defenseman. He now has scored 12 overall for Edmonton, and, of course, if they can hold on, they'll win back-to-back titles. Now, elsewhere in sports this afternoon, the Kemper Open, Hale Irwin fired a 66. He has a 2-shot lead there, and of course we'll have 3rd and 4th round coverage live this weekend on CBS. There was a sale in the NBA this afternoon. The Denver Nuggets have been sold by Red McComb to a group headed by Sidney Schlinker. Schlinker is another Houston businessman, and so McComb drops out of professional basketball. On the coaching front, there were 3 changes this week. Many of you know that Don Chaney has signed on with the Los Angeles Clippers and that the Chicago Bulls fired Kevin Lockery. Meanwhile, Billy Cunningham has stepped out as coach of the 76ers with a year remaining on his contract. That opens up one of the most prestigious jobs in the NBA. But already Don Nelson of Milwaukee has turned them down.
It really is for not only Philadelphia, but for any of the teams looking for a head coach. And I'm very happy in Milwaukee. I'm going to stay. I have a handshake agreement here. And it's just cut and dried. I'm not looking to go anywhere. I want to be here for a long, long time.
But still in the running for the 76er job is assistant coach Matt Gukas and former 76er assistant and current Detroit head coach Chuck Daly.
If they talk to me and ask permission to, discuss something with Chuck, and if he wants to, I'll grant them that permission.
There has not been a lot of time to digest all this. That's not to say that in the back of my mind somewhere that a head coaching possibility may occur at some point.
Meanwhile, in Chicago, new management led to Lockery's ouster, and one player who will miss him is Rookie of the Year Michael Jordan.
Coach Lockery and I got along very well. We had a great relationship, and I owe all my confidence that I had in my rookie season to him because he relied on me a great deal, and he gave me a lot of respect and a lot of responsibility for a rookie.
Now, Gilby, what about the Chicago job? What have you heard?
Well, I think management has let it out that they admire the work done by Jack Ramsey at Portland and Stan Albeck at New Jersey. Unfortunately, though, both men are tied to long-term contracts.
How about out in Seattle where Lenny Wilkins is looking?
Well, supposedly John Thompson from Georgetown, George Raveling from the University of Iowa, who had a great record at Washington State, have turned the job down. Now, that leads Bernie Bickerstaff, the assistant at the Washington Bullets, and then a dark horse is Jimmy Rogers right here with the Boston Celtics.
Now, what about the 76ers, Hubie? Who do you favor for that job?
Well, I don't know. I think that they're looking in-house. Matty Gukas has been with them as a player, as an assistant coach, has been there during hard times and good times. Very loyal man. Chuck Daly with Billy Cunningham when they put together the staff of Billy Cunningham, Chuck Daly, and Matty Gukas. So, you know, we're looking at possibly some close people to the 76er organization.
All right, Hubie, and of course we'll be back here in the Boston Garden as halftime continues. We'll take a look at some second-half highlights with Hubie, and Pat O'Brien will have a piece on Kevin McHale.
When it's important, America turns to CBS News for objectivity, accuracy, reliability. Watch the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
This is CBS.
Good evening from CBS News. This is Newsbreak. The UN Security Council will hold an urgent meeting tomorrow on Beirut. Lebanon objects, calling it an internal matter. Lebanon's president is in Damascus. One report says he wants a Syrian peace force in Beirut. President Reagan is back in Washington after flying to Virginia and Wisconsin to ask public support of his tax reform program. The program drew a generally favorable reception on Capitol Hill today. Now this.
Isuzu was building off-road vehicles before Japan was building roads. Isuzu Trooper 2 from the first car builders of Japan.
Mount St. Helens has begun its predicted eruption. Lava is leaking out of a new vent and earth tremors are continuing. Scientists say it may go on like this or there could be an explosion. I'm George Herman, CBS News, Washington. More news later on this CBS station and on CBS News Night Watch.
(64-46) Lakers with the lead here at the half over the Celtics. And Pat O'Brien, it's going to be tough for the Celtics if they don't have Robert Parrish. What do you hear from their locker room?
Well, Brent, I not only hear, but I can see Robert Parrish has come back out on the court. As you know, late in the first half, Parrish was taken back into the locker room. Apparently, he has a bruise, not a bruise, but a sore hip, the back of his hip. They just wanted to put some extra ice on that. Apparently, he is in some pain. Now, if he's hurting in this game, this will put pressure on the other big men, and one of them is Kevin McHale. Kevin McHale told me earlier this week that this series can be characterized as a battle between the longshoremen and the movie stars. Well, Kevin's basketball game has become more developed than the game he talks. Indeed, this season's star has become a star in this city.
Hold on tight.
Hold on.
Hold on.
There are two Kevin McHales. This is one.
Here's Kareem, outlet to Worthy. Rambit.
The other isn't so gentle.
And now let's watch it. Cooper and the Celtics, and now the bench is empty.
On one hand, Kevin Edward McHale looks like your cousin out in the Midwest. On the other, like the kid who doesn't look tough, but just finished karate school, that kind of confidence.
Sometimes you do have to send out a message, though, that, hey, look, this is my turf, and this is, where I'm going to play, and I'm not going to be pushed out of here. I may not win the battle, but I'm sure as hell not going to give up.
The one thing Kevin McHale admires is hard work, hard labor, if you will, and here in Boston, he sees a lot of it. His father was a laborer for more than 40 years, and if there was anything Kevin learned back in Minnesota, it was to roll up your sleeves and get the job done. That Midwestern work ethic wears well on Kevin. In fact, he figured he'd go through life doing just that, working a little harder than the next guy like his father did.
My father was really a product of the area that we grew up in, the hard-working mining industry. People went to work, you worked your 8-hour shift, you came home, and, you were good to your family.
Things don't come too easy here. He
people up here on the range, they always had to work real hard for everything they got, and I think Kevin knew that. He learned values.
Those hard-working values served him well at the University of Minnesota. And then it was on to work in the NBA. Boston got him in the first round, another of Red Auerbach's famed moves.
I just thought, geez, you know, big old Irish kid, big old white Irish kid. You can't beat a place like Boston to play in, that's for sure. And then I thought about playing with Larry Bird and Dave Collins. They're both on the team at the same time, right? And I kind of went, wow.
Kevin went on to become another of the Celtics' great six men like Frank Ramsey, John Havlicek, and Paul Silas. Not starting had been fine. In fact, Kevin rather enjoyed coming in late. If you're good, late arrivals are always dramatic.
I remember there'd always be like a buzz when I get off the bench to go in the game. People, you know, it'd get me excited because people would say, wow, you know, McHale's gonna get in the game now.
But this year, he's become a starter, and he still gives the fans their share of excitement. One night scoring 56 points, and most nights body checking the way they do in that other sport he dreamed of playing as a youngster.
That was my first dream, to be like on the varsity hockey team. And then I was playing, and it was so doggone cold outside. Someone introduced me to a basketball in the gym, and I kind of thought, this is a little warmer in here. And
It's an indoor sport.
Yeah, I gravitated towards the warmth.
So there he is, the enforcer, loving husband and father, the friend next door, the hard-working crowd pleaser.
There's 15,000 people in the stands cheering for you, but it's that look that your teammates give you and that look that you give them that says, hey, baby, we did it, you know, and it's a great feeling.
And those in Boston who hail to McHale's army are glad that he didn't become a Boston Bruin. They're glad he's a Celtic. Now, speaking of the physical nature of this game, as I get out of Kevin McHale as he walks in front of me, Robert Parrish, Brent, one more thing. I talked to Dr. Silva. He is hurting. It hurts when he jumps, and it hurts when he moves, but he will play. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Pat, thank you. Let's turn our attention to the Los Angeles Lakers. They've done everything right here in the first half, Hubie. And what did you pick up early when you were watching the game?
Well, I think that we have to like their defense tonight. You know, they're exciting, they're anticipating, they're challenging shots, and they have been excellent defensively in the one-on-one situations, forcing an awful lot of open floor. Now, here we have Byron Scott going to strip from behind. It's a gamble. That's a little playgroundish, but, you know, he set the player up for a reverse dribble. Now, watch the Dipsy do here. That's a beautiful move, a great offensive play.
Now, on Sunday, defensively, when the Lakers had to go to the half-court game, Hubie, they just assaulted Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Well, you know, not only was Kareem double and triple team, but nothing was happening on the kickouts. Everyone was missing the shots. Now, here we have, you know, the Celtics hustling. There's your, you know, double team. The kick out to Cooper. Now, this is Cooper's second long jump shot. Magic Johnson made 3. And then also Kareem hits Rambis twice on the back door off a Bird.
All right, so in the second half, this time it'll be the Celtics trying to dig out of that hole. And when we come back, Dick Stockton and Tommy Heinsohn will have the action for you. Coming up from Boston.
If you'd like to make your play for a personal computer, don't get bogged down with worries about software and expandability. Come to the IBM PC Classic. Explore the best-selling IBM PCs and the latest in IBM software and options. With prices under par, you'll have a clear shot at higher productivity. You can get things rolling at the IBM PC Classic. So, drop in. It's now in full swing at a store near you, or call your IBM representative.
Being there. That's what being a State Farm agent is all about.
When Scott and Vicki started to outgrow their insurance, we got together and reviewed it all. The new house, a second car, life and health coverages too. A State Farm family insurance checkup can be a big help. It's free, and it's there because things change. And like a good neighbor... Right, Jason?
Yeah! State Farm is there!
Winning in basketball takes control. Winning in life also takes control. I'm Isaiah Thomas, and this is my mom. Together we have everything under control.
That's right. Isaiah have his basketball under control, and I have my high blood pressure under control.
Call the American Heart Association to see how you can help control high blood pressure.
Even when Isaiah was a baby, he was quite a dribbler.
I was?
Yes, you dribble your milk.
The American Heart Association, we're fighting for your life.
Let's compare the halftime, the game 1 to game number 2. Boston which led 30, trails by 18. Look at the Celtics shooting go down and the Lakers go up. Fast break points, even more dramatic, 26-2. Look at that disparity compared to game number 1 for the Celtics and the Lakers. Offensive rebounds, usually the domain of the Boston Celtics. Right now, the Lakers have 11-3 edge. And, of course, the leading scorers worthy for the Lakers in Parrish, who's shaken up for the Celtics. And Tom Heinsohn, you talked to Casey Jones briefly. What did he tell you?
He wants a little bit more patience on offense. He figures that they're coming down settling for the first shot that presents itself. And he also wants them to move the ball around off those double teams to find the man open on a weak side a little bit better than they have.
The Lakers have to feel very good the way they played, and Hubie Brown talked about their defensive efforts, but they got off on the right foot as he talked about the first 6 minutes crucial for L.A., and they responded.
They got that fast break zipping up the court. Well, as soon as they do that, it gives them all the confidence in the world. Their defense was excellent in the first half.
Robert Parrish is starting as we begin the second half. Danny Ainge and Dennis Johnson in the backcourt. Larry Bird, who's 2 for 7 from the field and 8 points, getting the ball quickly and hitting his first shot.
That's the man they're going to try and get into the ball game from the outside, Larry Bird.
DJ all over Magic. Now Bird has to pick him up. 8 on the shot clock. Worthy double, goes up anyway. Parrish lost it out of bounds, and the Lakers still have it. He was on my back, Robert Parrish tells John Vanek.
Robert usually doesn't say too much.
Well, he's not talking to the press, and so far he has made his play on the court do his talking. And it's been effective so far in the playoffs. Double team Kareem, but a pass to Rambis rolls off.
Boy, he's missed a ton of those.
Here come the Celtics. L.A. gets back. Bird, though, firing from outside.
But nobody banging on the boards for the Celtics.
Kareem going in on a pass from Magic Johnson. So Kareem running a lot better than he did on Monday.
Well, he looked like he was a tired 38-year-older on Monday. Couldn't run up and down the court. There he is on the front end of a fast break.
Ainge hitting from outside. Now Kareem looks like a young 38.
Yes, he does.
Worthy. And this is the Laker game. Come right back at you.
Celtics are not taking good shots. And the Lakers are really hustling back and controlling the boards. No question.
Bird. Rambis quickly gets it out to Johnson. To Byron Scott. He had Bird in front of him, and Byron Scott had to alter his shot. McHale, guarded by Kareem. Worthy is on Parrish. Bird's basket is good, and he is fouled. 12 for Larry Bird, who now is the scoring leader for the Celtics.
The reason they go to Bird so often right now is to get that leadership going for the Celtics. And when he gets hot, the rest of the Celtics gain a whirl of confidence, even though they're not scoring themselves. And Bird loves this type of challenge.
Foul is on Rambis, his 4th personal foul. Three-point play by Bird. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn, Boston Garden. Game 2 of the World Championship Series. The Lakers have been leading and dominating this game after Boston had crushed the Lakers in game 1, but this has been a different game. McHale over Kareem. Rebound Magic. Gets right past Dennis Johnson. And Abdul-Jabbar with an easy layup.
I'll tell you, Magic guarding Danny Ainge, that matchup has allowed Magic, once the Lakers gain possession of the ball, to steam up the court unmolested. DJ just can't get at him.
70-53, Bird. Missing. Loose ball, and Byron Scott out-hustles Dennis Johnson for the ball in the corner. Quick pass inside, Rambis. Rambis again. Rambis a 3rd time. And here are the Celtics, 3-on-2. Touch pass, Bird to McHale, who's fouled. Another touch pass by Larry Bird, who showed us one in game number 1.
But on that particular fast break, Kareem never came back on the offense.
The essence of hitting. George Brett.
Some guys say it's the rhythm, reading the pitch. For me, it's a feeling that says, I'm going downtown.
The essence of shaving.
This is Atra by Gillette. It pivots so the twin blades stay on your beard longer. But what Atra is all about is the feeling that says you just got Gillette's best shave.
Gillette, the essence of shaving.
At $63.95, you could like the all-new 1986 Mazda B2000 SE5 for its price alone. Or for its radial, spoker wheels, 40 stripes and mirrors, step bumper, and double wall bed, all standard. And of course, there's the $63.95 price, plus the surprisingly roomy, quiet interior with a 5-speed. And that $63.95 price means you can now experience a sporty truck, priced close to Toyota's and Nissan's base trucks. Mazda SE5.
Come on, America. Drive over for Firestone's computerized Mastercare engine tune-up.
America's driving to Firestone.
And engine repair guesswork. Firestone's mastermind computer. Quick, thorough, gives you a printout. Nationwide warranty. Now, Mastercare tune-up only $34.95.
Driving force is Firestone.
And new tracks on sale from $29.95. The long mileage radial America needs. The price America wants.
Firestone.
This one's for the national title. CUSC take on intrastate rival Pepperdine for the NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship Saturday on CBS Sports.
Let's go back to Game 2 of last year's series. The Lakers are only 11 seconds away from taking a 2-0 series lead, but this Gerald Henderson steal ties the game at 113. And then, when Magic Johnson failed to get a shot off, the game went to overtime. And there, Scott Wedman clinched the game for the Celtics with this jump shot, tying the series at 1 game apiece. And tonight, the Lakers are trying to even the series at 1-1 here at Boston Garden.
Take a rest at the right time. Kareem Abdul not getting back on the offense. Lays back on defense in perfect position to give a little trouble there against a good pass by Larry Bird. But at 38, he's using all that experience to know when to rest.
Leading by example, Tommy, Kareem has 12 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. So he has come alive in this second game. McHale with the free throw. 70-54, a 16-point game. This is the second. We'll be with you for Game 3 of this World Championship Series from the Forum in Los Angeles, Sunday at 3:30 Eastern Time. Kareem, short hook, 14 for Abdul-Jabbar, and that's more than he scored.
Well, he sensed that McHale was on him and just took him right in front of the basket.
Only had 12 in Game 1. Worthy lands on Bird's head. They may call a personal foul on him.
They should. They want Bird to put the ball on the floor, not take the outside shot, these Lakers.
3 on Worthy. Bird for 3. That's a good spark plug for the Celtics if they can sustain it. 3-point play by Larry Bird. 2-man game, Worthy and Magic Johnson. Offensive foul, Worthy used his shoulder.
Excellent defense by McHale that time. Not to go for the fake, plant his feet.
You know, Larry Bird got off that 3-point shot, and Pat Riley has gone to his bench. He wants his defensive stopper, Michael Cooper, to come in the ball game, replacing Worthy, so you can watch Cooper on Bird.
And Cooper's job will be to make Bird not shoot outside shots, but put it on the floor.
Cooper is on Bird, poking at the ball. They swing it around, looking inside McHale, and a foul before the shot.
You know,
Kupchak with his second foul.
Kupchak is from the Washington Bullets, who were pretty physical in the days that he played down there, and he's bringing Washington to L.A.
Danny Ainge is fouled by Magic Johnson. For whatever it's worth, a lot more Celtics have hit the floor than Lakers in this game.
Little up fake there. Now it's contesting the outside shot, but look at how nicely that middle closes up. After a while, you say, I don't want to go in there anymore.
Under 8 minutes to go. Ainge misses the first. Mitch Kupchak seeing a lot of action in this ball game and has been a physical presence for the Lakers. He's in there along with Kareem. Lakers have committed 5 fouls to none for the Celtics so far here in the third.
Celtics are just trying to get it down to a 10-point margin by the end of the quarter.
They're down by 14 now. Last touch by Bird off his foot. Lakers ball.
Well, when he has Cooper on him, he'll take him in the low post.
Cooper out on the top to Magic. 9 seconds. Dennis Johnson defending. 4 on the shot clock. Kareem goes up and stuffs it through with 2 seconds to go. So the Lakers use the clock well.
The pass was crisp. On Monday, Parrish was picking off those passes.
What a difference a couple of days make. Winding down to 7 minutes to go in the third. 16-point lead for the Lakers.
Every part of the Laker game is more upbeat, crisper, harder, faster.
Dennis Johnson. Kareem owns the defensive glass, and here's Magic pushing it up again. Inside, Kupchak. Rebound by Parrish.
McHale forced Kupchak to go to his left hand.
Biggest lead for the Lakers was 18. Right now it's 16. Danny Ainge, top of the key, has 9 points in the ball game. Did not score in the first period.
The secret to making a big comeback is peck away, and bring it down slowly, not all at once.
Byron Scott pulls up in the lane. Kupchak gets the offensive rebound. Kareem winds up with it in a new clock for the Lakers. They are battling for the offensive loose ball. Scott misses. And here come the Celtics to try to cut it to 12. Dennis Johnson all the way. And now LA has a fast break situation. But a foul is called. And a technical foul has been called, I believe, against Dennis Johnson. Technical on Dennis Johnson.
Well, he thought he was fouled. Casey Jones, I'll tell you, this is a real travail for a coach to make a big comeback.
And Michael Cooper will shoot the tee right now. 5:44 to go in the third period. And Cooper makes the technical foul.
BJ thought he was fouled driving through the lane and popped off, but doesn't work that way.
KC said can't count on the shots going in like we did in game 1. He's right.
Now's the time for a Honda portable generator.
Hi.
Honda. Power, anytime, anywhere. Would you like some more coffee?
I'd love some. But don't you think it's a little bright in here?
Where I come from, folks stand proud and tall. They'll look you right in the eye. A place where pride is worth a whole lot more than money can buy. Where people care about their family. Where laughter's sincere. Where your word is your word. A friend's a friend and Miller's the beer. Miller's made the American way. Born and brewed in the USA. Just as proud as the people who are drinking it today. Miller's made the American way.
Miller contains no
additives, no preservatives. Miller Beer. Purity you can see, quality you can taste.
Miller's made the American way.
We'll be with you Sunday, 3:30 Eastern for Game 3 at the Forum, and you can see the next 3 games in the new format will be in Los Angeles. And Tommy, a lot of people think that's an advantage to the team playing those 3 in a row, but I think at this level, there's not many chances of a team winning 3 straight games at home when these teams play.
But the psychology changes, though, Dick, that perhaps with this new format, they will be able to win 3 in a row, because they know that they have to win those 3, otherwise come back and play the final 2 in Boston. So each win they get, if they get the first win out there, it makes it easier for the next one, maybe.
Maxwell has come in the ball game. Rebounding story favors the Lakers, and that usually determines the winner of these games between these teams. They double team Kareem. Kareem with a sky hook, and it drops. He did not move the other foot. The crowd was yelling for a walk. Kareem has hit his last 4 shots. He has 18 points.
I'll tell you, Kareem has really responded to the challenge in this ball game. Wow. What a great game he's playing.
Danny Ainge hits from outside. He has gotten the shooting eye in tow. He has 11 now in the ball game. I think it's Kareem and Magic Johnson, the 2 men who they had to count on, have done exactly that for them in this game.
And I think Pat Riley, with that little change-up of matchups, Magic on Danny Ainge, also helped.
Cooper, who's an erratic shooter, hits a key shot there. He has 11 in the ball game, and he's 4 for 4 from the field. So he's on the mark here, and with 4:40 to go, it's a 17-point lead for L.A. Maxwell against Kupchak, blocked by Kareem, and it's still Boston ball.
Well, I'll tell you, he's running around like he's 18 years old, blocking shots. Terrific.
Inside to Parrish. They leave Ainge open. And Ainge hits again. 15-point lead. Kareem gets it in good position. No basket. He traveled.
The Celtics have really shown me a lot more patience on offense, but their defense has really not been doing the job.
Turnovers. Big edge for the Lakers at this point. That's because of their aggressive defense. Bird. 18 for Larry Bird. He has 10 here in the 3rd period. Cooper for 3. Rebound, Dennis Johnson. 13-point lead, and the Celtics would like to get it under 10 before this period's over. Again, it's Bird. Timeout, Lakers. Six in a row for the Celtics.
For all those people who never could warm up to computers, Lotus introduces jazz. Jazz, the business software Macintosh was invented for.
The Converse StarTech's designed for the best pro player.
Thank you, Larry. StarTech's Unisaddle protects my ankles and gives that extra midfoot support
A great rebounder needs.
It's reinforced for me.
And me.
Hey, maybe it was made for both of us.
Must be magic.
Now that's who this shoe was made for.
The Converse StarTech with the unique Unisaddle design.
Reach for the stars, reach for Converse.
Okay, gang, let's take on the tough stuff.
And now is the best time to take on that tough stuff with the Ford Bronco 2 and new low 8.8% financing. Only one four-wheel drive vehicle has this combination of style and toughness. Yes, conquer the rough stuff with a tough Ford Bronco 2 and get low 8.8% financing at your participating Ford dealer. Hurry, 8.8% financing on new Bronco 2s delivered by June 3rd.
These teams have been the world champions in 4 of the last 5 years, and the Celtics are trying to become the first team to win back-to-back titles since Bill Russell coached the Celtics to championships in 1968 and 69, and his friend, teammate in college and in the pros, Casey Jones, would be the man to do it. And the live scene in Boston Garden urging on the Celtics, who have run off 6 straight. See how the Lakers respond here. Magic Johnson misses, and Bird gets it to Ames. 11-point game now. And Larry Bird, who has 12 in this period, very nearly cut it to 9. DJ stays with Magic, who loses the ball out of bounds. Celtics ball, and Pat Riley sees Boston making a run here.
Boston has the ability to hang in there. They're a real gritty bunch of guys. They can come back, but not as easily as the Lakers can.
Harris and Kupchak. Harris yelling for a foul and got no respect from the officials. But Maxwell steals a pass and is fouled. It's been a roughhouse game, and the LA Lakers have set the tone in that department, and that has been a different story. Magic with his second foul.
Well, here's heads-up defense by Max. You never run back down the court without knowing where the ball is, but look at that collision. I'm telling you, this is getting rough and tough and rough.
Ray Kite comes in, and Robert Parrish sits down. Don't forget he suffered a bruised thigh to Parrish in the first half, and he's walking gingerly, and Kite, the second-year center, comes in for it.
Well, Parrish has to continue to run. It's a tougher run for him now with that sore buttock, but Greg Kite right now has to try and take some of the steam out of Kareem's legs. So his orders are run Kareem hard.
It's a 9-point game. Celtics have scored 8 in a row. Kareem guarded by Kite, and a big sky hook by Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is moving in on Jerry West's all-time NBA playoff scoring record. Came in needing 50. Dennis Johnson with a line drive jump shot.
Well, I'll tell you, there are more bodies flying out of the rebound action almost into the stands than any game I've seen.
Boston shooting better, and the Lakers have dropped under 40. Under 2 minutes to go in the third. Double on Abdul-Jabbar. Cooper finds an opening inside. He has contributed mightily off the bench tonight as Cooper.
Particularly defensively, but Bird is working him pretty good.
Cooper has 13. And a Laker foul on Mitch Kupchak, his third, as Bob McAdoo comes in for Kareem. Kareem goes out having scored 20 points.
I'll tell you, Kareem has weathered the storm stamina-wise, and he's going to get a nice long rest here around the timeout at the end of the quarter. So he's going to be ready with a full load of steam for the fourth.
Bird went out with 20 points. Wedman replaces him. And now Kevin McHale comes back in the ball game, replacing Ray Kite.
Yeah, this man at the foul line, Maxwell, as Kite sits down, is an important guy for the Celtics. Him being less than 100% makes them vary their style a little bit. They like him to score inside and pick up fouls.
He was the hero of their 7th game victory against the Lakers last year. Cedric Maxwell. 10-point game. Magic Johnson going inside and draws the foul. That is the first team foul against the Boston Celtics, believe it or not, in this third period. One team foul, and it comes with 1:23 remaining.
I'd say they've been letting both teams rock and sock here in this third quarter.
But the Lakers were in the penalty. Foul was on Maxwell.
Pat Riley, I think, made a great move and making that change. Magic Johnson guarding Danny Ainge. Allowed a lot of good things to happen. Extra rebounding, fast up the court. Smart man.
In the championship series, it's the team that loses that has to make the adjustments for the next game. Rotating it around to the Celtics. Johnson, top of the key. Cooper, the rebound, with 1:07 to go. Lakers by 11. Their biggest lead was 18. They had an 18-point lead at the half. McAdoo. And Ainge the rebound. Maxwell is running much better. Ainge fires up outside. Cooper has Lakers down court. 4-on-1 break. And Ainge breaks it up for the moment. But McAdoo will get credit for the basket and a foul.
Look at Danny Ainge. He's got them all. That's a tough job. He tries to fake at it. Gets the hand in it. The lane. That's what you got to do when you got them all. Fake at the ball. But here's McAdoo. Gets the hoop and at the line for one.
And the three-point play by Bob McAdoo. And now the Lakers, who had their lead shaved to 9, are up by 14. As McHale hits the basket at the baseline with 25 seconds to go.
Well, if they can get it down to 10 again, Dick, that's really what Casey would have been happy with.
Well, they had it to 9, and now the Lakers, with 15 on the shot clock. Magic has 7 assists this period and 12 for the game. So he has been a big factor. 5 on the shot clock. McAdoo doesn't get it off. And the 24-second clock runs out with 2 seconds to go in the period.
That was good defense that time by Maxwell.
Celtics need a long pass and a shot to cut it to 10. Ainge finds Dennis Johnson. And it went under the rim, and that's the end of the third period. With the score, the Lakers 87 and the Celtics 75. Lakers lead of 18 cuts to 12, and we'll return after this word from your local station.
Sunday.
I can beat a devastating enemy.
Has Jessica Fletcher finally met her match?
I haven't got a clue.
James Coco Gaston, Murder, She Wrote.
This is CBS.
The NBA on CBS. Tonight's championship game from Boston, Massachusetts is sponsored by Miller Beer. Miller, made the American way since 1855. Schick Disposable, the disposable razor made to stay sharp and shave close, shave after shave after shave. And by Honda motorcycles and all-terrain vehicles. Honda, follow the leader.
Here's been the story here at Boston Garden as we start the fourth period. After 1, the Lakers led by 5, a far cry from their efforts in Game 1 against the Celtics. They moved it up to an 18-point halftime lead, but Boston has cut the lead to 12, and Larry Bird has scored 12 of his 20 points in the third period. He's a money player, and he's always there when the Celtics need them, and Larry Bird will be the man in the middle as the Celtics continue their threat. He'll start the fourth period on the bench, but not for long, Tommy.
Well, the Celtics want to play good defense at this spot in the game, control the boards, give one shot to the Lakers, and then come up and get a good shot themselves.
Lakers have Byron Scott and Magic Johnson in the backcourt. Kareem is back in the game and hits the sky hook. He has 22 now in the ball game, and it's up to 14. So that's a big basket to start the fourth.
You are right.
McHale guarded by Kareem. Gets it back from Dennis Johnson. Doubled with Magic. 6 on the shot clock. Ray Williams in the game. Scott Wedman. Off a deflection, Scott Wedman cuts it to 12.
Well, they had a lot of patience that time. Right now, the Lakers will try and pace this game to take advantage of the fatigue factor, push it up, and if they don't, get it into Kareem against the smaller McHale.
Good pass into Magic Johnson, too hard off the glass. And now the Celtics in a position to cut it to 10. Ray Williams. And a foul against the Celtics. Scott Wedman pushing. Point here, Tommy, with Kareem back in the game. Mitch Kupchak has given the Lakers good, strong play inside with 5 points and 6 rebounds as Worthy comes in the game. But Kupchak has been a good addition off the bench.
But here comes the speed back in for the Lakers.
I know you don't like those tough guys. You want the Greyhound.
It's a good time to take advantage of your speed.
And it's last touched by the Lakers.
Normally, the big guys are the ones you beat on a fast break, and when you can speed it up the court in the fourth quarter, you usually get easy baskets.
Parrish and Bird will be coming back in for the Celtics. Parrish can come in, and Bird didn't have his passport, so they wouldn't let him in the game.
Didn't get a shot.
But Bird is coming back in. We have about a minute and a half gone by in this fourth period, and Casey Jones figures that this is a good time for the Celtics to make a big run. McHale inside. Kareem winds up with the ball.
Oh, he's been immense. That's a big rebound.
His 13th of the game. McAdoo. And a foul against L.A.
But the quick hitter, they got it where they wanted it, close into the basket with no support defense. They missed an easy shot, the Lakers.
Larry Bird comes in, replacing Ray Williams. Worthy has 5 personal fouls.
Williams took an ill-advised shot. Casey Jones wants patience.
Larry Bird.
That's why he wants patience, Dick.
The Celtics are going with Scott Wedman in the backcourt along with Dennis Johnson. Kareem comes back. Parrish clears it. And now the Celtics can narrow the Laker lead to 8 points. Dennis Johnson. Bird looking to fight inside, and a foul on the Lakers. Larry Bird fiercely going after that offensive rebound, and a Laker foul called against Michael Cooper, and a timeout.
How many shicks can you get from one disposable shick?
Monday. Shick, shick. Shick. Tuesday. Shick, shick. Shick. Wednesday. Shick, shick. Thursday. Shick. Friday. Shick, shick.
No one makes a sharp, long-lasting disposable quite like
Saturday. Shick, shick. Shick, shick. Sunday. Shick, shick. Shick, shick.
How many shicks does your disposable give you?
Shick, shick.
It was 9:31, so I called my baby, said let's have some fun, and we rode. Riding on the river. We were riding on the river, rolling from the break of dawn.
The new Honda Rebel. Everything you ever wanted in your first motorcycle, only $12.98.
And we rode. Riding on the river. We were riding on the river, rolling from the break of dawn.
Out in front, the ball to Williams, stolen by Scott. With a drive all the way. Scott puts it up. It goes in. Oh!
We're knotted at 27, approaching 2 minutes to go first quarter.
Who's going to get credit for that?
He's got back-to-back buckets. Maybe that'll be another sign.
Whistle's long jumper, no good, and Griffith goes for the rebound, but Lieber comes down, and from a setting position, he makes it. Lieber on his back, shot it and made it.
America's game. It's fantastic.
The Celtics are trying to eat away at the Laker lead. It's 10 points right now. 2 players are in foul trouble right now, both Lakers. Worthy, who has 5, and Kurt Rambis, who has 4. But Robert Parrish may have his running legs going for him right now, Tommy.
Yes, sir. We're going to see Parrish leaning on Jabbar, but watch Larry Bird come from the right of your screen to really force Jabbar to take a tough shot. But now, after the rebound, watch Parrish leg it up the court. Still going. The fatigue factor, I don't see it.
He has that hip bruise. Kareem is 38. They both are looking like they're 21 out there at this point. 9.5 to go, 4th period. Bird shooting over Spriggs for 3. Wedman fighting Kareem and losing that fight. 10-point lead.
Well, they got it to their main man, and he didn't hit the shot.
Celtics had cut the Laker lead to 9. That's as close as they've come. McAdoo. This is the jumper. Parrish, another rebound. That's 11.
Boy, those bodies are still flying out of the rebound action. Terrific.
Low to Bird. Double team with Scott and Spriggs, and they get the ball away from him. Here's Byron Scott. And a technical foul has been called against Larry Bird. That's the second technical on a Celtic player. The first was on Dennis Johnson.
Bird got doubled, and I think Jake O'Donnell really didn't have a good position to see if anybody even grabbed him by the arm. So the best thing to do at that point is let it go.
You know, Riley could have an argument there. You call a technical, and the Lakers were on their way to a fast break, it seems.
Well, they call a technical, and they get a free point and the ball again. So what's wrong with that?
Gets the ball back from Kareem. Kareem. 24 for Kareem.
Boy, he's fighting Robert Parrish beautifully.
8.5 to play in the 4th. Lakers have it up to 13 again. And a foul under the basket, Larry Spriggs. Spriggs is an enforcer, and this is why he has his trademark.
Well, they're platooning their forwards, and look at Spriggs leaning all over Bird. And they were going to give Bird a little attention after calling the technical on him. And Spriggs, the inexperienced player that he is, picked up the foul.
3 team fouls on the Lakers. 5, and they're in the penalty. Bird pushed Spriggs away that time. Goes baseline on Spriggs, who knocks Larry Bird to the floor.
Where's Spriggs from? Washington?
Washington, D.C.
They play tough schoolyard basketball in Washington. Larry Bird don't know. Watch this. From behind. And Kareem, nice gesture to hold him up.
Win or lose, Tommy, the Lakers have made a statement in this ball game.
Dick, they are matching physical for physical. And that's pretty tough to do in the Boston Garden.
92 to 81 with 8:07 to go. Larry Bird, 24 points, 16 of them here in the second half. But Kareem comes back with another skyhook. Has he come back in this game?
Several years ago, when my team played him in Milwaukee, I thought he couldn't go 48 with one guy guarding him tough. He's showing me at 38 he can still do it.
Dennis Johnson. And it's again an 11-point game. You're right about Kareem. He's no armchair general in this ball game. And a Boston foul on Dennis Johnson. Danny Ainge will be checking back into the ball game.
You know, Danny Ainge was really the only guy other than Bird that was consistently hitting that outside shot.
Wedman is guarding Magic, and Ainge is trying to double. Wedman got a hand on it, caused the turnover. And the Celtics get under that Magic 10 deficit mark with a basket here. Bird.
How did he get that shot off against Cooper? Cooper was sitting right on his shooting hand.
9-point game. Wedman is out on Johnson. And smothering it. Spriggs knocked away. And the Celtics are making a big run with a lot of time to go in this fourth period. Bird going in strong and is fouled. James Worthy with 5 personal fouls is coming back in the ball game for Pat Riley, but the Garden crowd is on its feet as the Celtics are coming back.
Boss, why we wear these skirts? Hush up! We incognito. I thought we in Scotland to get some illegal distance ball. Like that? Hold on there, laddie. What ball you playing?
The longest ball, Spalding Top Flight. And Top Flight XL. Only way to drive those big dog legs.
Top Flight XL, and the newest longest ball, the 492 Dimple Top Flight Plus.
What do you say about our legs?
Who are those twits?
Why is it when you want it fast, you get it slow?
Water milk, please. I'm in a hurry.
You got it. Quarter milk, and he's in a hurry. Hurry?
But at 7-Eleven, you get what you want, fast. No one keeps you revving like 7-Eleven.
I want to drift along the Rhine.
Visit ancient lands.
I want to stroll the streets of Paris, touch Hawaiian sands.
American Airlines can take you to some very special places at some very special prices.
We're American Airlines, something special in the air.
Well, the fun continues Sunday from the Forum in Inglewood, 3:30 Eastern time for Game 3. Keep in mind the next 3 games will be played at the Forum, the home court of the Los Angeles Lakers. And Tom Heinsohn, you talked about how tempo was so important early in the ball game. Tempo is playing an important role right now, right?
It's swung to the favor of the Celtics. It's slowed down, and I don't think the Lakers are really taking advantage of all that good running that as well as they could have in this fourth quarter. Push it at the Celtics. That's what they should be doing to tire out McHale and Parrish and Bird.
And of course, the Lakers don't want to hear this Celtic crowd, which they freely admit is a big positive to the Boston effort. Larry Bird is on the line. He has 26 points. Going for number 28 right now. And this will be his 20th point at the half if he hits this free throw.
You really count on beating the big men in the fourth quarter on the break. The fast-breaking team, and I don't think the Lakers have utilized that aspect at all here.
Timeout story. Last time it's been as close as 7 points was 39-32 early in the second period. So this is the big challenge for Boston. And Kareem answers it with another sky hook from the baseline. And Kareem now has 20 points this half. McHale doubled. Finds Parrish. Finds the basket. Worthy, who has 5 fouls. McAdoo looking for Kareem. Open is Cooper. Hits again, and Cooper, with all his good defensive plays, you pointed out, Tommy, has 16 points as well.
Oh, yeah, that is a big shot. They're trying to stop Jabbar now, and that's going to make the Celtics think twice about it. Double teaming.
Kareem playing Parrish 1-1, and Robert hits the basket.
This series is going to be a ton of fun before it's over.
Kareem inside, going strong to the basket, and 30 points for Kareem. Keep in mind that Abdul-Jabbar had 33 points against the Celtics in one of their regular season matchups.
This is half-court knockout shot against half-court knockout shot. Wow.
Each team refuses to go down. Ames going in strong. Danny Ames on the penetration. But it's a Laker kind of score. They got to 100 with more than 5 minutes to go. no basket. And they're going to call the offensive foul, and that may be 6 on Worthy. It is. James Worthy has fouled out of the ball game. He scored 16 points, Tommy.
And here's a little hook when he fouls out. Kind of a cheap call there. Didn't look like Worthy really hooked him. But
that was not a kind of call you would get for a 6th foul.
But there's no real muscle in there now for the Lakers.
They need Kupchak maybe, especially since it's been a half-court game by Boston. Bird. Look at everyone on the floor. There are about 3 players. And now Kareem steps on the line, and the Celtics will have it.
Here he comes over the top, catches Cooper, goes to the hoop, tries to draw the foul. No whistle, but Kareem gets pushed, and then he steps on the line, according to Jake O'Donnell.
It'll be Boston ball when we come back.
Over 100 years ago, Frederick Miller started an American tradition. He put his beer in clear bottles to show its purity, its quality.
Miller's made the American way.
Nothing's really changed since Frederick Miller's day. Miller still means purity you can see, quality you can taste. It contains no additives, no preservatives, and still comes in the same clear bottle for the same clear reasons.
Miller's made the American way. Companies, you know them all. They believe in liberty, Liberty Mutual Insurance. Businesses that started small depend on us for their protection because we owe insurance. Families that put their confidence and trust in our experience, we help them all. America believes in liberty, Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Is Liberty Mutual a different kind of insurance company? You better believe it. We're Liberty Mutual, and we can give you the personal attention and value you need for your auto, home, life, and business insurance.
America believes in liberty, Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn. That's how much time remains in the 4th period. The Lakers have led just about all the way, as much as 18, but Boston is making a run. Lakers trying to hold on and even this World Championship Series at a game apiece. But Tommy, as you look at the Lakers lineup right now, what do you see?
Well, the Lakers lineup before this timeout had all their slender people in there. That should give the Celtics the advantage on the offensive board. Let's see who's coming out. Same lineup that went into the huddle at timeout is coming back out. Boston really should have the advantage on the board.
4:46 to go. And the action has been hot and heated. A physical game with plenty of speed, particularly by the Lakers early. Harris doubled. And they're going to call a jump ball. They tied up Robert Parrish. Good defense again by the Lakers inside.
Well, they made a good switch, and then when the ball got to Parrish, he waited too long to make his move. It allowed the double to develop.
The 2 centers will jump it, and they're going to jump it again.
When you have a mismatch and you're a big guy, you should catch the ball, never bring it down, just go over the man.
Larry Bird, 20 in the half, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has 22 this half. Celtics control, trying to cut the lead to 5. Bird feeding Parrish. The basket counts and a foul.
Bird makes things happen. Jabbar has to respect the drive. Beautiful pass to Parrish, who really powers it through after being hit by McAdoo.
Great pass by Larry Bird. And it's a 4-point ball game.
I think the Lakers didn't take advantage of that fast break, that fatigue factor.
Magic knocked away by Parrish. 11 on the clock. And Magic Johnson gets the roll. And look at the tension on the Laker bench. They badly want a victory here in Boston before they go home to play 3 in the friendly confines of the Forum. 6-point game. Bird is doubled. Ames to the top, inside. McHale pops. Keeps the pressure on for the Celtics. And Chris Ford urging the Celtics on.
That was the patience Casey Jones mentioned at halftime. Find the open man.
And there's 3.5 to play. Boston has 2 fouls to give. Lakers are in the penalty. Michael Cooper is open again, and he hits again. 18 for Cooper, giving Pat Riley some key points.
Boy, when you double Jabbar, you know he's going to find the right guy.
McHale's shot is rejected by Kareem, out of bounds, and it's still Boston ball.
I'll tell you, he is playing like a rookie. Watch him come over on this shot to really swat it away. Fantastic.
He has played an active, aroused game from the very start. Ames called for walking. He saw Kareem in front of him and took steps. Quinn Buckner, the cheerleader on the Boston bench. 6-point lead, Lakers in front, 3:05 to go. The only lead the Celtics had was the first points of the ball game. 10 on the clock. Kareem. And Bird gets the rebound. Boston trying to cut it to 4 now. Bird goes for 3. And Abdul-Jabbar cradles the ball.
I'll tell you, I've never seen that man rebound that hard at this stage of a ball game, even when he was younger.
16 rebounds for Kareem, and the old man has looked like a young man tonight.
You probably can't guess where you can find all this under one roof. Probably not at the stereo store at the mall. Probably not at the TV shop. Or the computer center across town. You'll find all this at Sears. That's right, Sears.
There's more for your life at Sears.
Ryder presents a moving tribute to those industrious few who saved money by renting a truck from somebody else. The Brewbakers from Akron who saved $14.50 moving to Topeka. Stanley Helms who saved $8 moving from Tulsa to Reno. The Willises who saved $6.95 on their move to Seattle. And finally, to the Blevins family who saved a grand total of $13 and found out, like they all did, that it's Ryder or it's wrong.
In one day, they raced 166 miles, battling the elements and the terrain. The Paris-Roubaix bicycle race this weekend on CBS Sports Saturday.
In an almost unparalleled display of long-term excellence in his sports, 3 decades as a headline performer like Pete Rose in baseball, Ali in boxing, Nicholas in golf, Bland in football. I'm talking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who after an embarrassing first game has come back with a vengeance. 30 points and 16 rebounds, and he indeed has been the spearhead for this Laker comeback. But now the Boston Celtics are forging in, and the old man's got to hold him off again.
Wow, he has missed a set offense. If there's one guy you want to go to in the last couple of minutes of the game, it's Jabbar, because he can make the shot and also make the good pass.
And so can this man, Larry Bird, who also has had an explosive second half. And he is the lifeblood of the Boston Celtics and the best player in the game today.
This is down to what Pat Riley calls the will to win.
Foul is on Larry Bird. That's one of the fouls the Celtics could give, although it may not be the best possible one. 13 foul on Boston. .220. Kareem, skyhook. And McAdoo charging in is called for the foul. That's 5 on Bob McAdoo.
Good move by McAdoo, though. He had to do that, but they are absolutely going to Kareem, and the Celtics are trying to confuse him. sometimes doubling, sometimes forcing him to take the shot, but he's smart enough to know when to do the right thing.
Worthy is already fouled out for the Lakers. Fouled out with 5:05 to go and scored 16 points. And now McAdoo has 5 and Bird to try to cut the lead again to 4. Bird going now for his 30th point of the game.
You know, when I used to play in these type of games, when you get down to this part of the ball game, your legs feel like lead.
And are there any players who don't want the ball at a time like this?
The great ones always want the ball at this point.
The great ones.
The great ones.
.104 to 100, and the Celtics tighten up the screws on the half-court defense. Under 2 minutes to go in the fourth. Kareem looking for someone to pass to. 1 second on the clock. Cooper hits the basket. The basket counts, and Cooper made it happen.
Well, he's hit 3 big outside shots off the double team.
And 8 out of 9 from the field in the ball game. 20 for Cooper. He's doing a Scott Wedman in this ball game. Ains coming back and misses the shot. Cooper running. 6-point lead for the Lakers. Cooper will use the clock now with 1.5 to play.
And into your picture comes Mr. Set Offense, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Triple team. Scott gets it to McAdoo.
Yes!
And a foul. McAdoo will go to the line with 1:17 to go. And at this point, the free throws become very important. Kevin McHale committing the foul, his 4th.
That previous defense before Cooper hit the shot was excellent by the Celtics. And it breaks your heart when a guy as the buzzer's about to go off hits an outside shot like Cooper did. That is a morale breaker.
Timeout! 1 for McAdoo, and now the Celtics will call a timeout. They have 1 timeout plus 1:20 to go. And the Celtics had cut it to 4 moments ago, now face a 7-point deficit with 1:16 to play, Tommy.
Well, I will tell you this, that outside shooting team that Casey Jones has available right now going to have to get up a couple of 3-pointers, no question about it.
And don't forget Sunday, 3:30 Eastern, Game 3 of this championship series, which is going to a full boil. It's simmering right now. Celtics and Lakers from the Forum. Well, we found out something about what the Lakers have inside, if you want to call it a gut check, Tommy, after getting blown out by 34 points and having to come back in a place they don't like to play, the Boston Garden. The Lakers proved to themselves and to everyone else that they don't have to worry about that part of their
I'll tell you, when you pull out the dipstick on guts, they came out and it showed full. That's all I can say. And this man in particular, who just an amazing performance, has taken this ball club and put it on his shoulders. And Magic Johnson told me in the locker room yesterday that, hey, Kareem is going to lead this ball club. So Magic really knew that Kareem was going to assume the leadership.
And he has, and it's important to win on the other court. Keep in mind the Celtics 9-0 at home in the playoffs, 20 out of 21. Lakers the only one loss in that span, and the Lakers, if they can win, will go home where they have won 24 of their last 25 home games, and they're looking at 3 big ones coming up starting Sunday.
And they really like to run out in L.A. And they really can get that fast break going in L.A.
Well, they like the lighting.
And the girls, the pom-pom girls, you know, the cheerleaders and all that stuff. That's kind of the atmosphere that they feel good in running in.
In the Stanley Cup hockey playoffs, Edmonton leading Philadelphia 7-1 after 2 periods. If the Oilers go on and win that game, they will win the Stanley Cup. Dennis Johnson is fouled going to the hoop with 1:12 to go. I'll tell you one thing, there have not been any easy fouls by the Lakers. They've made them all count tonight.
I'll tell you, this has been a very, very physical game. But to my way of thinking, the referees have let both teams be physical.
Bob McAdoo has fouled out of the ball game. Number 6 on Mac. He has scored 6 points. So McAdoo becomes the second Laker to foul out. James Worthy is the other. Larry Spriggs will come in the ball game for L.A. Replacing McAdoo, and Kevin McHale comes in for Scott Wedman.
Well, they're going to platoon a couple of guys, if possible, offense, defense. McHale in there to protect the boards. Hope they can get the ball back quickly enough. Oh,
free throws are important.
Casey Jones didn't like that one.
Quiet here at Boston Garden as Johnson hits 1 out of 2, a 6-point lead. Boston has missed 8 free throws. LA has dropped 9 from the free throw line. They have missed 9. Minute to go. 6-point lead for the Lakers. Kareem inside. Spriggs knocked away. Still Laker ball with 5 seconds on the shooting clock.
Celtics ran right at Kareem.
Into Kareem again. Sky hook. Short. Bird has it. Celtics will try to cut it to 4. Defense will win this game. Either the Lakers hold. The Celtics will get the ball away. Ainge forced it up. Kareem, a big rebound. Big one with 36 seconds to go. That's his 17th. And some of the fans start to make their way to the exits.
I'll tell you, this particular ball game had more spunk, more muscle. This is prime playoff NBA basketball.
It's a game worthy of prime time. Offensive foul. Magic Johnson, and he knew it as he ran into Bird. 17 seconds to go. 6-point lead. And the Celtics have to start thinking of 3-point shots here. And here's a guy who can do it. He hit 4 of them in game 1.
Designated 3-point shooter as Parrish will go to the sideline.
Bird is actually their best 3-point shooter. Led the league in that category. McHale going into the hoop and is fouled with 14 seconds to go.
Well, that's not a bad move to try and take it strong to the hoop right away and perhaps get a 3-point play that way. As the whole defense is out protecting against those long distance shooters, it's wide open going to the hoop, and McHale thought he could beat Jabbar with speed.
But all the Lakers have to do is protect the ball at this point. They do not have to give up the ball with 14 seconds remaining. And that doesn't help Boston's cause. And the Lakers know that they're going to have a much happier transcontinental flight to Los Angeles tomorrow as a result of a tremendous effort here. And the Laker bench, Celtic bench, shows how they feel. McHale fouls Cooper. But with a 5-point lead, 11 seconds to go, LA seems in control, and the fans start to lead. And Tommy, the Lakers apparently have gotten what they wanted, a split in the 2 games in Boston.
Well, it just goes to show one more time that blowouts are meaningless except in one game. All you have to do is win by 1 point when you're playing with the guts and determination of the Lakers have shown today.
And it's been led by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, coming back after a disappointing opening game. 30 points, his high for the playoffs this year. 17 rebounds to match his playoff high. Not much for KC to do except think of Sunday's game, which you'll see at 3:30 Eastern on CBS. Celtics call a timeout with 11 seconds to play.
If you're wondering about your future, listen to some people who are sure about theirs.
The Army pointed the way, and I'm going somewhere.
Right now, I'm moving towards my future.
We're getting stronger every day.
All you need is ambition.
I wanted the biggest challenge I could get my hands on.
I'm learning, training, moving.
All that you can be.
My future looks great.
Find your future in the Army.
I'm glad I'm here.
I like things that last. This old car runs like a watch. My house is over 96 years old. Been married to Enid 23 years. Here's the first new thing I bought in 8 years.
9.
It's a Honda lawnmower. Overhead valve design, real durable. I bought it because it'll last. Like my dog, 12 years old. Known Fred forever. This shirt belonged to my dad.
The Honda lawnmower. It could be the last lawnmower you ever buy.
11 seconds to play, and the Celtics trail the Lakers by 7. Kareem with 30 and Larry Bird with 30 are the high scores. But, Tommy, the Laker bench has come through in fine fashion. Michael Cooper, 22 points, has been a hero. One short of his career playoff high. And Mitch Kupchak gave him some good beef and muscle inside as well.
Well, Cooper hit those long bombs off the double teams. Big psychological factor for the Lakers at key stages. But I think the big thing in this ball game was that change of matchup of Magic guarding Danny Ainge. Made it awfully difficult for Dennis Johnson to get back and stop Magic pushing the ball up the court.
McHale travels. Maybe more than anything else, Tommy, as you pointed out early, the Lakers came out on their toes. They were alert. They played tight defense. And they run out the clock. We're going to L.A. and the series is tied 1-1. The final score, the Lakers 109, the Celtics 102, and they turned back every Boston effort. And the Celtics came within 4 at the end. It is one of a better Laker efforts in the playoffs, certainly against their toughest competition. And Pat Riley and the Lakers have evened this best-of-7 NBA championship series at 1 game apiece. L.A. will be at home for 3 games. And now the Boston Celtics know they must win, Tom, one of those 3 games at the Forum to force the series back to Boston for a 6th game.
It is going to be tough in L.A. for that speed really shows itself in the Forum. And the Celtics will have to play almost a repeat of game 1 out in L.A. to stop that fast break. Perfect defense they have to play, but that little switch that Riley did made it happen.
And the Celtics, who won big, beaten here, and right now let's go up to Brent Musburger.
All right, Dick, thank you very much. And I'm with New York Knicks coach Hubie Brown. Hubie, first of all, I thought it was a great determination and character tonight that we saw on the part of the Los Angeles Lakers. They were almost intimidated in that first game, and they came firing back here tonight.
Well, you had to like everyone's contribution, mainly the big fellow with 30 and 17 rebounds. But let's face it, Cooper was outstanding under pressure.
Now, how about the men on the Celtics who did not have as good a game as they did on Memorial Day afternoon?
Well, I think that it was difficult because of the injury to Parrish. Also, Dennis Johnson was not able to get into the swing of things in the offense. They need him to get 15 to 18 points. But the poor foul shooting, when it really came down to nutcracking time, you go back and think of how many they missed during the course of the game.
Now, Hubie, out to Los Angeles for 3 games. Does this give the Lakers a huge factor?
You know, I'm from the old school. I like to believe that when it's playoff time, with these type of caliber of players, that the home court advantage is not going to be that big. I look for it to be a great series in L.A.
All right, so we are all even. And for Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn, Hubie Brown and Pat O'Brien, I'm Brent Musburger saying so long from the Boston Garden. Don't forget to join us Sunday for Game 3 of the NBA World Championship Series between the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers from the Forum in Inglewood, California at 3:30 Eastern Time. Plus, be sure to join us Saturday for the NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship between USC and Pepperdine at 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central, and Pacific.
The NBA on CBS. Tonight's championship game has been sponsored by Sears, where you'll find great values. There's more for your life at Sears. And by Liberty Mutual for your auto, home, life, and business insurance.
The NBA on CBS has been a presentation of CBS Sports.